Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This stream's starting off great. Hi, it's Order 42. I'm Rob, and I'm very disorganized. So, hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But how's it going? Hope you had a good week and stuff. I was trying to get the reason I'm late, if you must know, I was trying to get our taxes done. And the problem is we don't have all the information to get our taxes done. And the reason we were trying to get our taxes done is because we save money if we did it today, which I've been putting it off because I'm an idiot. So anyway, we're here. We're here and we're going to chill out. We're going to talk movies and gaming stuff. I mean, a little bit and other things and whatever else comes up because that's how we roll. Okay. So, first off, I see there's already one vote in the old poll here. Which flavor? So, let me go over your choices. We have baked cake batter. And this is a raspberry cake, I think. I haven't opened this. I have no idea. I've never tried this. None of these I've tried. This one, in fact, these two came in today. Otherwise, I would have just, put one in there. But this one is called Excision. Great focus job. Oh, there we go. Paradox. And apparently this is grape and other fruits. But Grim Green tried this on his stream, and he really liked it. So it's kind of like, sounds good. I kind of want to try it. And then this one is called Escobars. That's the name of the company. Fruit Medley. And the whole deal here is the reason I wanted to try this one is because Escobars make this little disposable unit thing. And it, according to a couple of different reviewers, their flavors are amazing. And I found this site that had Escobar's e-liquid. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll give it a shot. And they only had a couple of them. They only had a couple of different flavors. And Fruit Medley sounded, interesting. So I want to try. I want to try their flavors. And look at there. Now we are completely split. One vote for each. But hello, Bucho. And hello, Ricky. Welcome to the show. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. So yeah. We're gonna be trying flavors tonight because I've actually got a whole bunch more. And they were like, I don't know, they were cheap. So I figured I'd buy a bunch of different ones because here's the thing. You can't just do dessert type flavors all the time. You just can't, because then everything starts to taste the same. You get tired of things. So we'll see. And again, baked raspberry cake batter, which sounds good. Excision Paradox grape fruity citrus things. And then Escobar's fruit medley. And look at how clear that liquid is. That's very nice. I always like it when I see clear because then it usually means it's not going to gunk up my stuff. Squiggles, what's going on, sir? How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, look, we've got some things to talk about and some things that I've been like, holy crap, I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe this is happening. Talking about Lord of the Rings. Can't believe that's even a thing, man. Can't believe it. But I do want to show you a couple of movies that I bought here in the last, that came in. If you were on the Discord chat the other day, then you've already seen these. But if you weren't, well, we're about to show you. So this one I'd never heard of before. And I don't remember where I saw it, but it was like, hey, this is a movie that if you're a fan, you need to watch this. It's called Dersu Uzala by, yes, Akira Kurosawa. Now this was not available in the United States. I had to have this one imported. And apparently this is just a region-free Blu-ray. But this was made in 1975 and actually won Best Foreign Film at the Oscars. It's a movie about basically okay, let me go back. He's from Kurosawa's from Japan, right? This is a movie shot in Russia in Russian. So I don't know a whole lot. Like, everybody on the list here is Russian except for Akira Kurosawa. So I'm really curious about what this one's going to be like. This is what it says. Dersu, an eccentric Mongolian frontiersman, is taken on as a guide by a Russian surveying crew. While the soldiers at first perceive him as a naive and comical relic of an uncivilized age, Dersu quickly proves himself otherwise, becoming their unlikely savior. I mean, hey, why not? You're telling me a Kurosawa movie that I've never seen? An imprint is who did My Duelists, Ridley Scott. So this is my second imprint Blu-ray. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. I actually popped it in to make sure that it actually worked. It does work. So I was like, yay. But yeah. So Dersu Uzala. Who knows? Who knows? It could be great. And Cosma is here. Welcome. And Phil. Phil is here as well. Good to see both of you. Welcome. Then I don't know if you, again, if you're in the Discord, cool, you see some stuff. If you're not, then you miss a couple of things here and there. One of them was a sale by Zavi, who does, they do a lot of Arrow Films stuff. They have a huge store with all kinds of stuff, toys and all kinds of stuff, shoes. Anyway, they said that they were doing a sale on Arrow Film stuff. So I went through to see if there was anything that caught my eye. A couple of did. And I bought them. Number one, I mean, come on. I've been wanting to get this, but I just never got it. I haven't even opened it yet. But yeah, Mallrats. And look at that list of special features. That's a ton of stuff. Now, a lot of people don't, I mean, some people don't like Mallrats. You know, they say, oh, it's too childish or whatever. I love this movie. And of course, because of the blockbuster stuff and how many times we reference this movie, how many times we watched this after we closed, it's a great movie. And to finally have it, I have it on DVD in there somewhere, but I never had this on Blu-ray. So now I do. So very excited. I'm curious how many of the special features are new to this disc and how many were on the previous disc, you know, but again, haven't done that. Haven't even opened it. So what are you gonna do? And the final one is one that I'm actually a bit torn on this one, because the day that I got this, Arrow announced a 4K disc for it. This is a Blu-ray. So I got the Blu-ray disc for something that they already had done. So it's The Last Starfighter. There's a 4K coming. And this is the Blu-ray, of course. But you know what? This is the kind of movie where I don't... Look, 4K is great, but I don't know if there's going to be that big of a difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K for this. I'm just saying. I don't know. But again, look, except for the recycling symbol, there's a ton of stuff on there. So this is going to be a lot of fun to go through. I mean, you know me, I love movies, period, but I love the making of movies too. So, and Arrow is one of the best when it comes to that. Just kind of happens that a lot of times Arrow puts out movies that I just don't care about. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge horror guy. You know, I don't like a lot of horror movies, and it's not because they scare me or anything like that. It's because they just don't appeal to me. They're just not my favorite kind of movie. But anyway. And Squiggle says he's never seen Lord of the Rings. Look, I'm just saying, you should give it a try. Okay? You should totally give that one a try. Fellowship of the Ring, just pop it in and give it an hour. Give it an hour of your time. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, nobody's going to be forcing you. Nobody's going to be standing there with a baseball bat saying, "Watch that movie, damn it." No, it's not going to happen. Just give it a chance though. And if you after an hour you're like, "Okay, I don't care." Then okay. Fair play, you know? I just don't think that's the case. I just don't think you can watch an hour of that movie and then go, I mean, some people, yeah, I'm sure. But you should watch that. That sounds like the name of a Star Wars character. I mean, a little bit. Dersu Ozala, yeah, a little bit. But yeah, it's you know, it's always good to have new movies to watch. A little bit of light shining there. So yeah, and of course I can add them to the shelf. Anyway, what the hell is excision paradox flavor? Let's go through that again, shall we? So, baked cake batter. So baked is the name of the juice line. Cake batter is the flavor. It's a raspberry cake. And I've had many of baked stuff before, and they're really good. So I wanted to try it. Excision paradox is a grapefruit citrus mixture. I don't know. But in bonobo juice. Welcome, sir. Look, if you guys haven't been over to look, just do the whole thing where you can hover over his name. You know, go to his channel, watch a couple of videos. If you're not a fan of bonobo juice, I understand it. You know, his type of humor, my type of humor, it's not for everybody. But I guarantee you, I love that guy. That guy is amazing. And I love watching his videos. I understand why he doesn't make a whole lot of them. But I kind of wish I had one every day to watch. Just saying. I would watch it. But Excision Paradox Group Fruity whatever. Then Escobar's, as I had explained earlier, makes disposables. And from what I've heard, the disposables, they're, you know, disposable things. They're supposed to be really, really good. Like some of the best flavors that you can get from a disposable. The problem is the disposables here in the United States, they're at 5%, which means 50 milligram nicotine. I vape. Can't really see it very well on there. Oh my gosh, you can see it. 5% versus 0.3%. That's what I vape. 0.3%, 3 milligram. I don't need 50 milligram. Okay. There's no reason for me to buy disposables that are 50 milligram. Now, are you going to vape that all day? No. You take a vape and then you run around the block for an hour. And then you come back, maybe take another hit. I don't know why you'd run around the block. Nicotine's a depressant. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't need anything that high, but I wanted to try the flavors, and this one was one of the few that sounded like it appealed to me. So there you go. Right now, Escobar's is winning 71%. So Escobar's right now is the winner. These two are tied at 14%. Now, here's something I didn't tell you. Are you ready? So here is what the winner will go in. Okay? So it'll go in this little tank guy. Now I'll show you this, right? So there's this. The second winner. So we need somebody to break the tie. We need some sort of second place. Okay? So there you go. Sorry. I will be buying the 4K disc on Starfighter. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. It's like if I'd had the choice, I would have bought the 4K, of course. But now that I just bought the Blu-ray for a movie that I'd seen many, many times and just passed over, the fact that I got it for such a good price, I was kind of like, yeah, why not? Let's finally get that one. And now that they're coming out with a 4K, there's a little bit of, oh man. But at the same time, like I said, I don't think the jump between Blu-ray and 4K is going to be that great on the last Starfighter from 1984. Just saying. So, you do what you want to do. I'm just going to stick with Blu-ray. Is there anything more shocking here in the age of nostalgia than the fact Hollywood hasn't remade The Last Starfighter yet? Well, there was talk of a sequel. There was talk of a sequel being made, and that still has not happened. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. As Rob says, give it an hour and start with the standard cuts, not the extended. Yeah, the weird thing about the extended is, to me, I feel like the extendeds are the best version. I think it fleshes out some stuff, and there are moments in the extended cuts that I think they're some of my favorite moments in the whole series that are in the extended cuts. So I never saw that in the theater, but I totally get that. I mean, the fact is, if you can find Fellowship in whatever form, just like I said, give it an hour. Give it an hour, and if you're not into it, that's no big deal. I mean, it's a pretty big commitment. It's 9 hours. And the extendeds are what, like 10 and a half, 11 hours? I mean, it's a lot. But it's one of those things where you go, man, that sounds like a crazy. How many people have binged a whole show in one, or a whole season in one day? I know I have. I did. I binged, what was it, season 4 of Stranger Things? One day. One Saturday. Just bam. It was gone. You voted for the wrong one, you son of a. But yeah, there was supposed to be a sequel. And Bonova Juice, of course. You need to ramp up the output. I'm here for the vapes and tapes. Hey, that's what we're doing. But yeah, I just enjoy his videos, and his sense of humor is like, it's like, I don't know, I just get it, and it works for me. So, Bonobo Juice is your content vapes. Dank cloud tricks. Yeah, I'm not a big cloud trick guy. Raspberry cake or grape flavor. Yeah, see, that's the weird thing. It's I have, well, in here is the raspberry donut one. It's lasting a long time, but I was kind of like, do I really want another one that's raspberry? But this one's we're almost done with this bottle. So I collect one thing, Rob, that's movies. I have a ridiculous collection. Well, Phil, I would like to see that. I don't know if that's something that you can share with us, with the rest of the class, but I would definitely like to see it because, yeah. But Bonobo Juice, seriously, not to go back, and I don't want to, I don't want to like embarrass him or anything like that, but he's an artist. And not only watching how he draws is interesting to me because I just did everything by eye when I drew, and I'm like, this is it's a different way of drawing. But again, his commentary it cracks me up. It always cracks me up. So like there's many times when I just have to pause it and I'm like, okay, I want to see the art, but I'm paying attention to what he's saying and it's cracking me up and I'm not paying attention to the art anymore. It's great. So anyway, I'm just saying I'm a fan. All right. And I've been a fan for many years. Back in the old horse drownings days. Love that show. There's so much fun stuff. Oh my god, the freaking macaroni commercial and the what was the Puchos Cuchos? It's great stuff, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. Anyway, well, let's see what else is going on. What's going on with you guys? I've like I said, I've got plenty of news. I mean, I say that, not really. I've got some news things that I want to talk about, but I kind of want to know, uh, like, what are your thoughts on something like this? Uh, Now look, I totally understand if somebody looks at this and says, "Well, Tom Sizemore was a drug addict, a convicted. He's convicted of what? Domestic violence. There's a lot of stuff going on with Tom Sizemore. He's had a road that he's purposefully made it hard on himself. You know what I'm saying? But I see this and I say, I get that. I understand that. But I didn't know about all that. Honestly, I didn't know about his. I mean, I knew he had some drug problems, but I didn't know about the domestic violence stuff and his, all that stuff. Which kind of makes it sound like he's a troubled man. The fact is, though, I watched so many of his movies, and I know that a lot of people have. A lot of people enjoyed his performances, enjoyed him as a character actor, as a lot of times as a violent, very violent, disturbed man, which apparently he is a violent and disturbed man. But again, I can't help but think about the first time I saw him was in True Romance, and True Romance was um he left an impression. And then I saw him in Natural Born Killers. I saw him in let's see, 93, 94, 95. He was in Heat, and he was in he was something else. I was just thinking about it. Oh, Strange Days. I love Strange Days. That's a movie that is very, it has some very disturbing images. But man, there's something about that movie. I've always loved it. I've always loved it. Oh, Point Break actually is probably the first time that I saw him. And he, again, small part. This is one of his first roles, was in Point Break. Very, very small part. And yet he made an incredible impression. But he's in Point Break, there's right in the middle of the movie, I can't, Johnny Utah's chasing a guy through this house, through the houses and all that kind of stuff. No, wait. No, they're making a drug bust, right? And it's where Anthony Kiedis shows up very briefly in that scene, which is kind of strange. But anyway, that whole scene, Tom Sizemore is an undercover cop in that house. And at the end, when everything's said and done, he's like, I've been here for 3 months. 3 months. And the way he says it, it's iconic. And it just, after I saw him in that, and then I saw him in all these other movies, and I'm like, holy crap. Then we've got Black Hawk Down. We've got Saving Private Ryan. We've got a ton of movies that this guy's been in. So look, I'm curious about what you guys think of Tom Sizemore. Again, it's sad. It's something that it was even more sad when I started reading. Oh my gosh, I had no idea about all this other stuff. I mean, I knew he had drug problems, but I didn't know about all the other accusations against him. So, yeah. Tom Sizemore is very sad. Had to make that decision for my uncle. Yeah. It was something that I had to do for my mom. That was almost a year and a half ago. It's not easy. It's not easy stuff. But yeah, it's that guy. Wow. Tom Sizemore is very sad. You already said that. Always forget that Tom Sizemore was wild in real life. Yeah. And Carbonite, welcome, Carbonite. Sup, Robin chat. Yeah, he was great in Strange Days. He's so able to play that energy kind of laden kind of guy. There was something about him that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed his performances. I know if you start reading up on him, you're like, boy. But again, I really enjoyed his performances. So as an actor, I enjoyed him. Not a fan of that kind of stuff, but in real life. But yeah, he had his demons, but at least now he'll be at rest, and any victims of his can rest a little easier too. Just sad. Yeah. The action is the juice. Yeah. In fact, what was weird was I just watched. Remember last week I was talking about getting my new receiver set up. Heat was one of the movies that I watched that scene in the the shootout, and watched Tom in that briefly. I hadn't watched I've watched whole movies in there since I've gotten the receiver, but nothing like bombastic. It's been more like what did I watch? I think I wrote it down, didn't I? Or maybe I didn't. Oh, I watched Fifth Element. Yeah. I've been catching up on Leon. Told me, not Leon, the professional. Not the movie Leon. Leon, our friend. Leon, the special effects guy. He told me about this show From, with Harold Perrineau. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not sure. But yeah, I watched the first episode and was like, yeah, this looks right up my alley. And then I showed it to April and she was like, yeah, we need to watch that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we never went back to it. So this last week, when she was on vacation, it's really just off of work for the week, we decided to watch it. So we watched the second episode, and she goes, yeah, you're gonna need to watch this on your own, because she's got she had a little bit of anxiety. She didn't want a show like that is not good for the nerves. I'll just say that. It is disturbing. It is scary. It is wow. But yes, yeah. So I've been watching that. The man, I'm telling you, it's going great in there. It's going great. Not Gary. How's it going, sir? Welcome. By the way, okay, we're still tied. Okay, somebody's got to break this tie. Again, baked cake batter, raspberry cake batter, Excision, Paradox, grape, fruity, citrus thing. I don't know. I've never tried any of these, so I don't know. And then Escobar's fruit medley, all at 3%. If you haven't voted, if you don't vote today, then you don't get to vote. Funky. That's what Grim Green says. So, I just love how second and third place are exactly the same. Still. Even after more votes. Leon, the professional SFX artist. Yes. How does refillable vape juice compare quality-wise to disposables? Well, technically, they're the same thing. They're exactly the same. The only difference is the concentration of nicotine is different. So what you get out of a disposable, it's literally just, it's self-contained. One of the things the FDA was kind of cracking down on was like the Juul. The Juul have pre-filled pods that slip into the little Juul thing. And that's what they were kind of cracking down on. Disposables had never really been touched by the FDA yet. The FDA is not done. They keep moving the goalposts. They keep saying, "Oh no, they're actually coming around on having to say, yes, we have to acknowledge that vaping is safer than traditional combustible cigarettes." Yes. Yeah, they're starting to come around on that idea. What they're not coming around on is flavors. And so the only ones that they've deemed as, what do you call it? That they've approved through their little process have been tobacco flavored. Because I don't know about you, but when I quit smoking, I didn't want to smell tobacco. I didn't want to vape tobacco like ever again. And what helps the disconnect and helps you continue the journey to quit is to not associate what you're doing now with what you used to do. For some reason, the FDA doesn't understand this. So they haven't approved anything flavored other than tobacco, that sucks. But anyway, eventually they'll go after the disposables as well. The disposables, though, what's nice about those is that they can't be, I'm sure there's ways, to get in there, but for 9 out of 10 people, there's no way to do anything to mess with that. And that's why they call it a closed system. This, of course, is an open system because I can literally take the thing apart and fill the tank up with liquid, right? That's called an open system. Closed systems, never dealt with. But for the longest time, as far as I knew, Escobars did nothing but closed system disposable vapes. But I've heard their flavors are really good. So there you go. That was a really long explanation for what probably was just a very simple, this or that. But anyway. Leon the Professional 2, Dune C. 2 Leon the Professional, 2 Furious. And Ted Millich. Ted, welcome. Welcome, sir. Good to see you, sir. And look at that. It looks like we got another vote. Second place is still tied. Because as I mentioned, first place is going here. And second place is going here. I might have to do a separate poll by the time. In fact, you know what? We've already figured out that Escobar's Fruit Medley has won. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this poll, and then I'm going to start another one. A battle, if you will, between these two. Okay? So, end poll. Not sure about the cake flavor. Hey, I get that. I totally get that. Sometimes cake is done really well, and sometimes it tastes like Play-Doh. I'm not kidding. Sometimes it tastes like Play-Doh. So let's do a new poll. Second flavor? Okay, I'm here for now. Ricky, welcome. Hey, Escobar's won. But now, between raspberry cake batter and grape fruity whatever. So Excision, I'm just going to put the grape fruity citrus thing. Raspberry cake batter. I'm just going to cake battery. Yes. Ask your community. Go. There you go. The poll is going. So, here we go. Camping at the lake. I like to reverse engineer disposable vapes like Alien Craft. There are people that have taken some, like Juul, for example, they've figured out a way to get the filament and everything outside of the disposable pod and refill the pod. It's just what they do. So this is the setup we're working with. Couple of beautiful looking coils, some beautiful white, clean, snow-like wick on top. There we go. Sounds like an English football coach. I like cake. I don't like the cake flavored cereal I've tried. That's true. But see, like, what's weird is I've noticed that every now and then I'll have a candy or something and it'll taste exactly like a vape flavor I've had. And I'm like, because the flavoring that I get, it can be used in food as well. So they use some of the same things. It's kind of interesting. I only vote because of you, Rob. Don't care much for vapes. Well, I appreciate that, Phil. And I understand. I totally understand. But for somebody like me who used to smoke, and the fact is I'm just gonna be honest with you, I loved it. I love to smoke. And now I have something that is better for everyone around me. It's better for me, better for my wife, everything. Everything has been made better for me because of vaping. So to quit smoking and do that, that's how I look at it. So I totally get it though. All right. Let's take a little knuckle test. I'm tasting strawberry. I'm tasting raspberry. I'm tasting melon. I'm tasting berries. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this. This one's gonna be nuts. I don't think there's nuts in here. I just think that it's gonna taste like, here's everything. And see, what you do is you basically just you put the liquid on. Get the wick started. Get the wick wet. Get your wick wet, you know? I mean, I don't know anybody. I'll just say this. I'm just going to make a judgment call. I don't know any man that isn't adverse to getting his wick wet. Okay? So now I need to turn my device on. 5 clicks, turn on. It's on and ready to go. Okay. Got a little vapor. What's cool is, and this is something that unfortunately I don't have a camera. Bucho, you're going to have to peace out. Bucho, have a good one, sir. What's really kind of cool is if you can get really close to the camera or to the coils, you can actually see it wicking, and it's really, really cool. It's really cool what happens. But what's cool about this tank, so you see the airflow, you see those holes there, right? So what happens is this guy goes over this like this. It's like a hat. Okay? And what that does is it compresses that chamber. So the air has nothing to do but hit those coils and go straight up. A lot of tanks are wide open. Like for example, this is actually one of this is anyway, it doesn't matter. So you see how that, now look in here. See how wide open that chamber is? In theory, I should get better flavor from this tank than this RDA, which used to be the other way around. You could only get good flavor from an RDA. But we'll see. All right, screw the tank down. That a taser? No. Oh, you know what? Well, I can't do that. Actually, I could. I could show you. But anyway. Fill that tank up. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, fill it. Boop, boop, doop, boop, doop. Okay. Put this on. Now we're ready to go. We're ready to go. 75 watts on a on a 0.22 ohm. There you go. Look at that. Batteries are 100%. We're good to go, you know? This was made November 20, I think. November 25th, 2022. Okay, it's good. It's good. But there's a lot going on. I taste strawberry, I taste kiwi. I think, oh my gosh, that is crazy. There's a lot going on. I can see why people like these flavors is because they're very, very complex. I wonder if Escobar's I can't actually pull up the website because I think I could get in trouble for that. So I'm not going to pull it up for you guys to see it. And I'm not kidding. Like YouTube will shut my stream down and or whatever. Okay. I think I said strawberry, I said kiwi, I said fruit, or I said melon. This doesn't say melon. This says combining banana, mango, red berries, lemon, and kiwi. I had no idea. I did say kiwi. I did say red berries or strawberries. Mango's not a melon. I don't get any mango. A little bit of banana, yeah. A little bit of lemon. Okay. I'm gonna turn the fan on so we don't, set off the smoke alarm because we've done that before. Yeah, that's not a good thing. So all I got to say is yes. I'm enjoying this. It's very, very different to what I usually vape, and that is a good thing. And sorry about the buffering. Sorry. I don't know what Excision Paradox is. Sounds like a space movie starring Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. I mean, doesn't it? But that's what that's apparently what we're getting because it won 80% to 20%. Good job. Good job, guys. I'm excited to try this one. But we'll get caught up first. Went and had barbecue at a place called The Pit in Warren, Texas. It was pretty good. The Pit, is that the big famous one? The where there's like a huge pit? I've never been there. But I've heard it's fine. But it's not like everybody makes it out to be like, "Oh my god, this is the best barbecue." I don't know. All I know is barbecue can be I've had lots of barbecue all over Texas. Some of it's really good, some of it's fine. I've had bad barbecue before, but I'm telling you, Goldie's, I was very, what do you call that? I was very skeptical that Goldie's was going to be the best in Texas, whatever. And I'm like, come on, really? How is this a thing? How can it be an objective, this is the best, right? Subjectivity is I mean, everything. Movies, I can say that I think Dune was one of the best movies of that year. Obviously, that's not an objective thing, is it? No. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where I just didn't know. But I'm telling you, it is the best barbecue I've ever had personally, ever. So, but I'm curious. I'm curious on the level, where it would stand, And yes, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, The Abyss. Yeah, that it's actually like if you like when you're watching the movie, you're kind of into the moment because it's a very, very hard, or it's a rough scene, she's basically drowned. They're trying to revive her, and it's just a very intense scene. And you're into it, but you don't realize that, yeah, you don't even see her for like a good minute. It's kind of interesting the way that they edited it. That always sounds weird when I say edited it. The way they did that, it makes it flow and it makes it work. But yeah, apparently James Cameron's not the easiest person to work with. But he's a genius. I'm a man, I smoke real cigs. Just playing, you're right, be healthy. I mean, look, I seriously never thought I would quit. When I got my first vape, I said, this is just going to be something I do alongside it. It's going to be something that will supplement it. No, my whole reason for doing it is because once you get over that first initial cost and getting started, everything after that it's kind of cheap. It's pretty cheap, you know? Like this will last me probably, because I have a few going, this will last me a week. I mean, a week. Probably a month. If I vaped only this, it'd be a week. But still, $12 for a week? Dude, that's not bad. That's not bad when it comes to cost. So that was my whole thing. There's a reason I started doing it. And then trying to learn more about, what other stuff is out there? What other, just because I'm that person. When I put my focus on something, I want to learn everything I can about it. Oh, I guess I should go ahead and stop this. Looks like grape fruity citrus thing is going to win for the second one. But I do want to get caught up. So I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you for voting. You voted, and it means a lot to me that you guys cared enough. It's really a simple thing. It's not that big of a deal, but thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I didn't do it because, I want to be all healthy and stuff. But then the more I learned, the more I was like, oh my God, it really is like, it's a big difference. And then when I found out that our own government is trying to keep us smoking because they're not getting any money from vaping, it kind of made you go, So I basically quit out of spite, not because of health reasons, but because I didn't want the government to be able to tell me what I can and can't do. So there you go. I don't mind what you talk about. Just nice to be here. Well, Phil, I appreciate that. And yeah, the knuckle test is important. The knuckle test is always important. Let me see. Okay, wait. Wait a minute. What did I miss? Oh, like a hat compresses wide open, get your wick wet, all double entendre. Yeah, I mean, that's, hey, make sure you suck on the tip, right? Mango is a light flavor. The weird thing is, though, mango is one of those flavorings that can completely overtake a vape. Seriously. There's so many different, like, oh, this is a fruit mix, and it's got some mango in it, and it'll just be like, oh, it's mango, and then back here, hey, there's some strawberry back here, and maybe some stuff. You can't taste anything but mango. It's just one of those weird things. Mango, for some reason, is a very dominant e-liquid flavor. I don't know why. I hope they delve into Mando mythology more. I really like the Karen Traves Republic Commando books that got into it. Look, we're going to Mandalore in season 3 for sure. Just a hole in the wall place. Oh, okay. I want to try Stanley's and Tyler. I've made ribs using their spices that turned out damn good. I haven't been eating. I've been kind of on the healthy train. I'm pretty much all the way on the healthy train, and every now and then I'll dip my toe off the healthy train. But yeah, I'm kind of missing. And yeah, we need Abyss and True Lies in 4K. Absolutely. I didn't get a good one when I tried it once. It was shaped like a cigarette, didn't work well, leaked. Yeah, and that's the biggest problem, is that if you had somebody like me where I could go, here, I'm going to sanitize this drip tip, try this, and then try this. Because I've got everything from something that mimics the feel of a cigarette to something like this, where it's like a turbine, And that's the problem is the stores can't really take the time to do that with every single person that comes in. So they go, well, this is the most popular thing. You want to try it? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, that'll be however much money. And then you're kind of out the door going, I don't know what I just did. That's how I felt the first time I got a vape. But the more I learn, the more I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how it works. Okay, it's kind of like a stovetop coil where you're dropping water onto it and steam comes off. Okay, same concept, just in a very miniaturized. Okay, got it. And then the whole idea of a tank and the way that, okay, you put the liquid here instead of down the center. That way it'll vaporize. Okay. And the wick basically just, okay. The more you learn, the more it makes sense and the more you can start to tailor what you want. Because I don't have any set up right now. But, is this it? Okay, this is just one of them. But look at the difference in the size of the tank. So this tank is more for like a cigarette kind of, and it's got a like a cigarette kind of draw. But I kind of moved away from that. Some people love that and they've tried this and they don't like it and they go back to this. Me, I tried this, was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then I tried this and I'm like, okay, this is what I want. So it just, unfortunately, you probably didn't have that kind of situation. Daryl Best, welcome. Good to see you. I just do everything James Cameron says. That's my strategy. Not saying I do it well, but I just nod and smile and hold my breath. Then he'd yell at me. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I hear. But he's just such a damn genius, He's so good at telling a story and he knows exactly what he wants. So, I don't know. Make weed legal, that will replace the tax. I mean, well, here's the thing though. Because of and this is, I don't want to go too far into it because number one, I'm not an expert. Number two, this isn't technically a vaping show. But the whole thing is with the master settlement agreement between the tobacco companies and the states, they basically made deals with each state that basically said, okay, here's the deal. The more smokers you have in your state, we'll pay you so much money so that you don't sue us. Right? So basically, most states get basically money from big tobacco for how many smokers they have in their state. The more people quit, the less money the states get. Well, guess what? Some states took that money from big tobacco and started taking bonds out based on the amount of money they were going to get from the tobacco settlement agreement, from the master settlement agreement. And they've started to figure out, we're losing smokers because of this vape stuff. So they started doing flavor bans. And guess what? 3 main states took out these loans. California, Michigan, New York. There's more, but those are the 3 main ones. Guess who were the first states that had flavor bans put in place? Interesting. So because you guys made a bet based on what you were getting from tobacco companies, and now these people are quitting smoking and being healthier, you're defaulting on these loans. And so what you have to do is try to curb that moving from smoking to vaping because you're not getting anything from vaping. It's amazing. But it's the truth. Follow the money. It's actually really, it's one of those things, the more you look into it, the more you're like, I can't believe this is legal. But it is. And they're doing it based on no information, which is crazy. But anyway. Damn customers. Ricky, you tell them to stick it, okay? You tell them to stick it. And then move on with come back over here and do your thing. Let's try this one. Okay, that is heavy grape. Heavy grape. Knuckle test. Knuckle test. Wow. Okay, I said that it was grape, it was fruity, and then there was some citrus. I don't know if it's real or not. This could be one of those things where, the first time you try something, you're not really sure. It almost has a tea, like a tea kind of flavor. And no, it's not because I drank tea. It's got like this herbal element. So this is going to be interesting. But what else is interesting is that a lot of times, depending on, see, here's the thing. If I vaped this flavor out of this tank instead, I might pick up other notes at a lower wattage because each of those flavorings has a different, like, almost like a different smoke point. So sometimes this one will be really, really heavy in this tank, but then you vape it over here in this thing, and oh man, I taste something different. It's really weird, and it's one of those things that it can be addicting because it's fun. It's fun to sample all this stuff. But anyway, let's get let's get my wick wet, okay? Let's get that wick wet. Okay, here's another clear liquid, which again, I like very much. Very much. So can you see how that's going on there? Come on. Come on. Can you focus? No? Is it because my face is there? It's going, see that's got liquid on it. And you see how clear it is? Now look at this. This is just a flavoring of marshmallow. And see how yellow that is? So yeah, depending on what it is, it can have a higher sugar content and it makes things, yeah. Anyway, I like a clear liquid. Clear usually means that I won't have to re-wick or do anything. It won't gunk up my coils. Gunking up those coils, you don't want that now. Don't want those gunky coils. All right, turn this on. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I mean, this is what a lot of people sound, in some parts in Texas, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right, let's see. Did we get some vapor out of that? Well, hell yeah, we do. It is kind of fun to do that, but it is kind of a vaping show tonight. I didn't mean for it to be, but people ask questions. I want to answer them. But it's kind of interesting. And the thing is, the UK, see, while we're over here banning flavors, banning vaping, products here left and right, England, because England has a health system that is paid for by the government, it's actually in their best interest to promote the healthier alternative. They're actually putting vape shops in hospitals. Smoking's not allowed on the hospital campuses, but vaping is. In fact, vape stores in the hospital. So somebody that's trying to, I don't know, maybe goes in for surgery, they go, hey, have this instead. Interesting, right? Public Health England and the Royal College of Physicians. The Royal College of Physicians, by the way, was the first group in the world to link smoking and lung cancer. So, the Royal College of Physicians was the first government, or the first group of people, group of doctors in the world to say that vaping is safer than cigarette smoking. All right. This is full on 75 watts. Let's give it a toot. Okay, that's not what I expected. That's interesting. It's not like what I usually expect from when something says grape. I usually expect that purple grape, kind of like a Welch's grape. This isn't like that. It's more of a green grape. or a white grape kind of flavor mixed with some other stuff. The government isn't here to help us, that's for sure. Well, they're here to promote whatever is, whatever the lobbyists are paying for, basically. And usually, I don't want to get into political stuff. Hashtag no politics on Order 42. But let's be honest. How many politicians are in for the best interest of the people that they serve? Or is it the lobbyists that are saying, hey, vote this way? For the kids. Yep, that's what it is. Adults don't like fun flavors. The tricks are for kids, after all. Well, I'm just curious if that's true, because that's what they keep saying. They keep saying that, oh, these flavors appeal to children. Any idea why these same kind of flavorings are making its way into, I don't know, vodka or beer? These artisanal beers, and there's like all kinds of flavors on it. Just curious. I'm just curious. If adults don't like flavors, why is there a dessert menu at every restaurant? Do people not like cake? People not like, a little fruit bowl? Who doesn't like a fruit bowl? Come on. It just doesn't make sense. Their logic doesn't make any sense. Phil, have to bounce. Everyone enjoy Mando season 3, and Rob will watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. Cheers, Phil. Thanks for being here, sir. And yes, enjoy that Mando. We are gonna talk about it. I just I figured, hey, let's chill. Let's just chill, everybody. But good to see you, man. This show goes where it goes. You better believe it. And that's what's kind of fun about it, right? If I had more people, when I was doing like a topic show, I would probably do that. But the fact is, I have just as many people when we're just here hanging out. And that's more fun for you and me, because we just get to hang out and talk and chat. It's fun. And our little Discord hangouts that we're doing like every couple of weeks now, those are fun too. We had Ninjinzu Games in there. We had Not Gary. We had Ricky. We had Wraith. It was a blast. So if you guys have the opportunity to come on, join the Discord. There's no money involved or anything like that. It's literally just us hanging out, and it's fun. So it doesn't cost anything. If you just sign up for an account, basically. It's fun. Man, that is a weird flavor, man. It's good, but it's also really strange. Oscar, what's going on? You missed all the crazy vape voting thing. I'm trying some new flavors that I just got in. Yeah, interesting. Not what I expected. By the way, when you hear somebody coughing from vaping, it's usually just because you get, how like you get those little spittle, you get a lot of saliva in your throat, and then you breathe in and it makes you cough a little bit. Like, like when you choke on like when, something goes down the wrong way. That's usually what it is for me. I don't usually cough at all, but I do when I'm, especially something like I'm not. That one was really unexpected. Nicotine promotes concentration and decision making, which is why doctors used to smoke. Nicotine is not the enemy. It really isn't. There have been many, many studies that nicotine is not a carcinogen. It's a stimulant. Just like caffeine is. It's interesting. Also helps with anxiety, depression. There's a lot of things that nicotine does for the body. But of course, It's dangerous. Yeah. Obi-Wan said politicians can't be trusted. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And yeah, true with the flavored booze. I'm telling you, go in there, go to your local grocery store, liquor store, whatever, and look at their artisanal beers and tell me how many flavors you see other than beer. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be chocolate. There's going to be just all kinds. Now, I'm not saying that those shouldn't exist. I'm saying that if somebody makes something and somebody wants to buy something, it shouldn't be the government's job to say, no, you can't have that. But why? Because some kid might come in here. This is a liquor store, isn't it? Under 21 not allowed? Or at the very least, under 21 not allowed to buy it, right? See, the thing is, if we had such a problem with that, why aren't they going after alcohol? Oh, no, you can't go after alcohol. It's been around for years and years and years. Guaranteed there's more kids die from drunk driving accidents than have ever died from vaping. By the way, the vaping is 0. The only time that something's happened like that, where somebody's gotten injured, is because of misuse of a vaping product. But look, the stuff exists. All I'm saying is that there's no reason why vaping should not be allowed to exist when cigarettes are on the shelf. Anywhere you go, pretty much anywhere you go, except for like what CVS has said, oh, we're not going to carry any of that stuff anymore. Okay. Way to help. But I mean, you can get cigarettes almost anywhere, but now you can't get vapes anywhere. And it's a double standard that doesn't make sense. But anyway, flavored cocaine. You're drinking some fruit punch vodka and Sprite right now. I have passion fruit vodka. I don't drink, by the way. But I think I still have some passion fruit flavored vodka, and it's great. I mean, mixed with, like, make yourself a, what do you call that? I can't even remember. It's been too long. It's been like 10 years since I drank. But I can't remember what I had, but it was really good. It was with cranberry juice and vodka. I really liked it. But then I was like, I don't need to drink. Yeah, vodka's fruit punch flavored. That's just peanut butter whiskey, blueberry beer. Guarantee you all those things exist. I think part of what it is, I didn't put enough wick in this one, so it's actually popping liquid out, and that liquid is getting like, they call that spit back. So if it goes down your throat, it kind of tickles and it makes you cough. I didn't know that knuckle test, the term knuckle test would be, would sound dirty. I didn't mean for it to be. I'm trying the other one. Yeah, your wick is spitting liquid. It is. Okay, I'll just say this right now. As much as this one is good, I like it, but this one's better. This one's much better than this one. Now, next time, we'll have to put cake batter back in the rotation and vote on 3 more flavors. I can almost guarantee you that one's going to be good. So I'm actually glad that 2 flavors that came in today, we got to try it. Don't snowball it. I don't even know what that means. Just because. Now let me ask you a question. While I'm vaping a little bit, has anybody bought one of these or tried one of these? Anybody? While you're writing up your responses on this, your thoughts, because I'd love to hear, seriously, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Billy from the Game Chasers was on a show today. And on the show, he said that yes, the Blu-rays are at the distribution house and that they should be receiving them this week or next week, which means guess what's going to happen? Rob's going to be going over there and addressing envelopes or doing whatever it takes to get these shipped. I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited for everybody to see the movie or to see the Blu-rays. A lot of you have seen the movie, but to see the Blu-rays because the Blu-rays are awesome, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. But anyway, PSVR 2. You've tried the Oculus. Yeah, I try. Well, I have. Well, we used to have the Oculus Quest 1. Then we upgraded to the 2 and we gave our Quest to my sister-in-law. The Quest 2 is awesome. It really, really is awesome. It is a little bit front heavy, but I really enjoyed the Quest 2 because there's no wires. With this one, there is that one wire you see coming down that plugs directly into the front of your PS5. Unfortunately, I didn't know until Wood put out a video today talking about how the audio comes through the headset and you have to you plug it in and then there's these little earbuds that go in your ear. I'm not a big fan of earbuds. And so he used over the ear headphones, which may be better or whatever, but that also increases the heat generated by your freaking head. So I was just curious if anybody's tried this yet or has anybody bought one. Been hearing they ain't that great. Yeah. Aren't that great. Gotcha. Yeah, the Oculus is cool. John Wick type game. I've played many different kinds of games. I've played shooting games. I've played Beat Saber. I played one through a website. I think I talked about it, where you punch, which is really kind of fun. So it's like Beat Saber, but it's on the web. And there's just any song you can think of. I think I've talked about this. Have I talked about this? But it's like any kind of song you can think of. There were comedy songs like Seagulls, you know? You know, the Yoda Seagulls song. There's all kinds of different rock songs, all kinds of different pop songs, all different kinds of artists. There was some of them work better than others because I think these are user generated, user made. But I've had a great time with that. My wife's had a great time with that. I like the more immersive type games. But the problem is I'm not, again, just not into horror games that much. So playing the Walking Dead game is very, very cool, but it's just not for me. I just don't I want something with a little more something. But yeah. Not me. I don't think there's enough games for the VR2 to buy yet. I can wait a few years. This is exactly why I am I don't need one right now. We could have probably gotten one, but I can't justify it right now. There's not enough games out there for it. And to me, no matter what system it is, and again, this is a guy that's not a huge gamer, but it doesn't matter what system you buy. Whether, it's a PS5, Xbox, Switch, if it doesn't have games that you want to play on it, it's not worth it. As long as there are games that make the thing worth it, then it'll be worth it. But right now, there aren't enough games on the VR2 to make it worth it. On the VR1, I played Farpoint on there. That was awesome. No Man's Sky in VR was awesome. And apparently No Man's Sky on this is really cool. These are OLED screens. And I think they're 2000 by 2000 by 2040 each. So each eye gets 2000 by 2040, and there's eye tracking. It vibrates. It does all kinds of cool stuff. I just don't think there's enough games to make it worth it yet. You had to jump and duck and shoot people and avoid getting shot. Yeah, there's Super Hot, where it's very angular people, but it's still a fun game. There's one where it's kind of a rhythm-based shooting game, which is kind of fun. I didn't try that one, but I've seen it played. It's kind of neat. Yeah. I only heard the PSVR 2 was expensive, but looks good. I don't know why they said either. I still rock an OG Vive headset from 2016. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that I have not yet tried on my computer is the Quest 2 plugged into it, because I know that a lot of Steam games you can run to the Quest, and I just haven't done that yet. And that's something I just need to do. So yeah, still have tons of original PSVR to play still. Oh yeah, there's it's almost like a tech demo in a way, because it it wasn't very long, but the Batman game was really impressive in on the PSVR 1. I really enjoyed that one. But it is a short kind of experience. I think it's only like 30 minutes or something. So, I don't play games enough. I'm still slowly making my way through Red Dead Redemption 2. That's exactly where I am. I'm very casual now. It's why, like, playing Metroid Prime, I got to the Omega Pirate. Finally beat it for the first time ever. I never beat the Omega Pirate the original time I played it. And probably because that one I played very sporadically. So I kept going, okay, I don't remember where I'm going. I don't remember a lot of things. Never beat the Omega Pirate. So I beat the Omega Pirate and then was like, okay, whew. Guess what? I haven't played it since. I just haven't. I've been busy. So, excuse me. So that's the thing. But I'm definitely a casual gamer, but I really enjoy the technology side of VR. I really want to play. I've seen that Half-Life Alyx is supposed to be like the best VR game like ever. I've seen it. I've seen the playthrough of it, but I haven't actually experienced it myself. Supposedly that one is like, that's like the gold standard right now. So, closing up, BRB when I get home. Ricky, you do the thing, sir. You do the thing, and we'll see you when you get home. Never finished Red Dead Redemption 2 either. Terrible at finishing open world games. Love them, but I wander around too much. That's me. I mean, Breath of the Wild aside, Breath of the Wild is really the only open game that I completely devoted my life to it when it came out, you know? So that one, I don't know. And that's kind of how I feel like Tears of the Kingdom's going to be. So, yeah. Wraith, welcome. And Magnus Garkon, welcome, both of you. Speak of the Devil was just playing Prime and just beat Omega Pirate. What a pain in the ass. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the first time I'd ever played, or I'd ever beaten him. So yeah. I've been playing Metal Gear 5 and love it even more than Breath of the Wild. Yeah, well, we'll agree to disagree on that one. I mean, look, the thing is, Breath of the Wild just hit every note for me. And it made me want to keep playing. No game before or since has done it like that. Got the Star Wars game to play too. Yes, I did play Vader Immortal, which was in 3 parts on the Quest, and it was really good. It was really good, but it's also kind of, it's like it was almost like chapters in a way, and each chapter was like 30 to 45 minutes. Not exactly the best value. I'll be honest. When they came out, because I got them, of course, when they came out, because I'm a nerd and I have any new Star Wars. I gotta do it. I mean, there's a reason, right? But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that game a lot. What is your dream Star Wars game? My dream Star Wars game would be Breath of the Wild in Star Wars, or Star Wars and Breath of the Wild. Give that kind of experience, that kind of open world, the kind of lived in. That's one of the things that I love about Breath of the Wild is everything feels lived in to me. You know, there's always something around the next hill, some new piece of. There's so much care built in the game design. I just love it. I don't know if they could do. But see, that's the thing. I would be, if I was in charge and they were saying, okay, what do you want to do? And I'd tell them, I think everybody would be mad at me because every game would be like a Breath of the Wild clone. Oh, it's Breath of the Wild, except on Tatooine, or you're on different worlds in Star Wars or whatever. I just love the mechanics. I love the story, the way that the story had to be found. I love that. Like you'd see something, you go, I don't understand what that is, and then you'd learn about what that was and what happened, and that's cool. I just love that, and you're just kind of discovering things along the way. I love it. So yeah, a game like that would be great. VR tech is amazing. I truly believe every household would have been better off during lockdown having VR. Feels real enough to feel like you weren't stuck in the house. Oh, okay. So we're talking VR 2, right? The Quest 2 has a thing, and I can't remember what the name of the app is, but it has a virtual theater, and you're supposed to be able to invite people over, and you can watch something. So, like, if I had a movie, and I think you have all kinds of different stuff available to you. I think you can rent movies and stuff too, but their selection is limited. But I had a 3D movie on my hard drive, and I put it on the screen, and I'm sitting like in a theater and watching it, and I can pick whatever seat I want to view the movie from, and then other people can come in there, and you're supposed to be able to talk and stuff. I really wish I would have known about that during lockdown. I think that would have been really, really fun for everybody to sit there. Hey, let's watch Man of Steel. Let's all sit and watch Man of Steel, or whatever movie that I could find that would work. But it's really cool too because it's in 3D. It's a 3D movie, and it actually plays like you're wearing 3D goggles in a theater, and it's awesome. It's really, really cool. So, how would I rate Fallen Order from 1 to 10? I would give it a 7. I think it's a little janky. I think there's a lot that I mean, look, I really enjoyed playing the game. I did a whole playthrough on Twitch. I enjoyed the game. My biggest single issue with it is the same issue that I have with Metroid Prime. And that is, it's way too easy to get lost, and there's not a very good way to get around. And I don't like that. I don't like that I can go in the same circle, and I'm like, where did I miss? And then you're looking at the map, and it's all 3D, and you're moving it around, and it's difficult. Now, maybe it's because I didn't spend enough time with it. And I was literally I wanted to get through the story. So it was really getting frustrating that I kept getting lost. And I think that's my biggest problem with Fallen Order, is that I kept getting lost. So I'm hoping Survivor kind of improves on that, but we'll see. But yeah, a 7 out of 10 is not bad. I'd say definitely, if you're a Star Wars fan, give it a try. There's some really cool stuff in that game, and the story is great. I really, really enjoyed the story. Fallen Order sits unopened till I beat Red Dead 2. Didn't I like Knights of the Old Republic Online? I didn't. You know why I didn't like it? Because I never played it. I have both Knights of the Old Republic games on my Switch, and I still haven't opened them. And I was kind of hoping that the remake would come out and I could just play that. But apparently that's been postponed, tentatively canceled. I don't even know what the situation is with that. Breath of the Wild 2 will be more than 5 times bigger than the first. Has that been confirmed? I mean, if so, cool. But I haven't heard anything about the size of the world. I mean, it kind of makes sense that you should be able to do everything on the ground plus everything in the sky too, right? Because there's the sky kind of element to it, but we'll see. Battlefront 2 on PS2 is my favorite. That was a good game. It really was. I enjoyed the first, Battlefront 2015, on the PS4. I had a great time with that. In fact, I would play Battlefront using the PlayStation VR 1 because it gives you like a 120-inch type screen. And it almost felt like cheating because you could see people way off in the distance and you could snipe them, and it was awesome. It was really fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed I've enjoyed all the Battlefront games. Are you kidding? They're all great. My dream game is Fallout with Metal Gear 5 or Last of Us 2 mechanics. Okay. I've seen Fallout played. I've never played it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Dude, there's such a line of games right now. I suffered from severe depression at one point in my life, and I bought Fallout 2 when it first came out. It really helped me get through it. Well, and that's the beautiful thing about anything. Games, movies, live shows. It's at least for me, I've made connections with things and with people because of situations like that. Like during my recovery with all my surgeries, not to go into all that again, but Jacksepticeye was the guy that I found that I loved. I loved him. I was like, this guy's great, and he's funny, and he makes me laugh, and he's entertaining and all that stuff. And then Halifax was one of the big streamers that I really, well, he's not a huge streamer. He's definitely successful, but he's not like top tier. He's not Dr. Disrespect or Shroud or anything like that. But I love Halifax. I love his sense of humor. I love his the way that he carries himself, the way that it's same sort of, I wouldn't say I patterned myself after him, but I try to keep things somewhat family friendly because I know what it's like to have kids around. My nieces or nephews while I'm watching something, and then all of a sudden they start talking about, some sex thing or cursing up a storm, and it's like, damn it, man, come on, keep it PG, man. Hallie keeps it PG, and I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm getting behind. But yeah, games have done that for me. Books have done that for me. Movies have done that for me. Star Wars was something that was almost like a babysitter for me. My mom and dad were going through, their eventual divorce. Star Wars was a big part of my life, big part of my upbringing. It was one of the few things that we did as a family. So it was really important to me, Star Wars. So yeah, that's why, part of the reason why it's so important to me. Star Wars game like XCOM, Enemy Unknown. Isn't that a strategy type game? XCOM? I've never played it. I don't know a whole lot about it. Heard the Mario ride at Hollywood Studios is part VR or something. And yeah, Oscar, yeah, actually, absolutely. It's cool games can do that. It's cool that anything, you can attach yourself to some of that stuff, and it just, you know what I mean? It becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of something that you look forward to, and it keeps you going. I wouldn't say that I would have, luckily I've been in a situation, or I haven't been in a situation where extreme depression lasted for too long. I was in a pretty low situation, and Link to the Past was my game back then. That was my sanctuary. And so, of course, it's part of the reason why Legend of Zelda is so important to me. But Breath of the Wild was it was also a sanctuary from all my stuff that was going on, my recovery. It was amazing. So yeah, games have absolutely done that for me. Movies have done that for me. Books have done that for me. It's awesome. Bad Mark Zuckerberg Metaverse Press puts a stigma on the VR experiences that do it right. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's one of the things that I just don't get. Like, why? I get it. It's part of, they bought it, all that kind of stuff. But man, it just kind of bums me out. You've got the first one on my phone. Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, see, I still haven't played it. Maybe I need to. Battlefield 1 is your favorite Battlefield game. Star Wars Battlefront Remake is good now that EA took out all the microtransactions. It is actually. the second, or yeah, the latest one, whatever it is, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's just Battlefront 2, right? The current generation one. It's really, really good. The problem is everybody's so uh, everybody's so damn good at it that it's hard to just jump in and have some fun. A lot of times you're just, and in some levels there's a bit of spawn camping, and I hate that. So yeah, but like I do like to play it every now and then, just because it is fun. It is fun. So Battlefront 2 PS2 is very good. Myth 2 that I played online a lot back in the day. You commanded armies of zombies and knights in battle. Limbs and corpses wouldn't disappear on the battlefield. Yeah, I remember the game that I got really addicted to was StarCraft. Well, Diablo and StarCraft. I love those games. Yeah, for 1999, that is amazing. And XCOM is strategy, right? Okay. Morgan, I didn't comment in the chat, but I first stumbled in a few weeks. Just wanted to say there's a nice, comfy place, lovely channel and chat. Well, Morgan, look, feel free to lurk as much as you want. I'll say this, to me, lurking is just as good, But if you want to chat, go ahead and chat. We're a cool bunch. We're a cool bunch, and yeah, I really appreciate that. I try to make a place where everybody's cool. Let's just have a good time. No calling names. If you don't like The Last Jedi, no big deal. Or maybe you love it. Whichever. Everybody's happy here. Everybody's welcome here. I don't care. I seriously don't care what color you are. Don't care what sex you are, what you identify as. I don't care if you like Tolkien or not. I don't care if you like whatever. We all like things and we dislike things. So I love to hear that. So thank you. I appreciate that. Really means a lot to me. Christian VS, good evening. Welcome, Christian. Good to see you. Zelda movie coming in a few years. Not sure what story they're going with or something new. Yeah, there is that, right? Man, I would love to see them tackle something. I just don't know what they're going to do. And I mean, are we going to get like a live action thing? Are we going to get something that looks sort of like Breath of the Wild? Because I'll be honest with you, it's part of the reason why I stuck with that Star Wars show, the one that got canceled, the cartoon. Part of the reason why I stuck with it is because I loved the art style. That Breath of the Wild art style, man, loved it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And it's going to happen. It's got to happen, right? Knights of the Old Republic is fun, but it gets hard near the end. Never finished it. Okay. Don't mess up Zelda movies, Disney. Stick with the story from the games. Well, it won't be Disney. Right? Because the Super Mario Brothers movie is done by Illumination, which is who is that? I don't remember. It's not Disney though. Illumination. Oops. Studios. Okay. Who? Yeah, but who's the distributor? Let me do that. That's what I excuse me. Illumination Studios distributor. Owned by maybe NBC Universal. Illumination is NBC Universal. So that means that if it is Zelda, it won't be Disney doing it. It'll be NBC Universal. We don't like Trekkers, though. Trekkies out. Kidding. Honestly, I am like Billy's one of the. I wouldn't say. I don't know if he would even call himself one of them, a Trekker. But as far as I'm concerned, fandom is fandom. And when I see somebody saying, "Oh, well, all this, especially the Twilight thing, really opened my eyes." The fandom, surrounding Twilight. And Kevin Smith said, "Hey, guess what? They like Twilight like you like Star Wars. Let them have their thing. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's bad. Just like, look, I can't stand Minions and Despicable Me. I don't like any of those. I think they suck. But if somebody likes them and it's I mean, especially if it's made for a younger audience, who cares if I like it or not? They're not for me. Just like to me, The Last Jedi was made for somebody like me. It might not have worked for you, but it worked for me. A lot of it did. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with that movie, but there's a lot of things that I liked about it. Same with any of these. Star Trek, there's a ton of stuff that I really like about Star Trek, but I can't stand the bad effects and the bad lighting and all that stuff on the older TV shows. I'm talking about most of the older TV shows. It takes me out of it completely because the story isn't strong enough to keep me invested. Now, again, a lot of people will disagree with that. But then I like some of the Star Trek stuff I've seen. A lot of the movies I've liked. Even some of the new ones. So, yeah. Voyager, my favorite of all Trek series. I tried watching Voyager. Couldn't stand it. I mean, I get it. 7 of 9, right? I get it. But, yeah, I was never a big fan. Couldn't do it. My wife loved it. Couldn't do it. I'm just like, this is just not for me. And she got into Doctor Who there for a while. Same thing. Can't get into it. I just can't. I can't. But that doesn't mean that you're not. I mean, anybody's welcome here. Talk about whatever. Not now. The world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. That is true. Different strokes for different folks, right? Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, Wraith and I disagree on all kinds of stuff. Apparently mostly DC stuff. But the fact is, there's a lot of stuff that we do like. We do enjoy, both of us. So it's, I think that's missing in the world. Don't you think? Like how many different ways are we alike? Instead of focusing on our differences, let's focus on how we're alike. That's what's important, right? Kumbaya, everyone. Anyway, you don't like Minions? I'm sorry. Metal Gear 5, there was a mission where you had to infiltrate an airport and assassinate an enemy. I managed to ambush an enemy convoy that he was in before he got to the airport and won. That's pretty cool. And see, that's the same thing, the same kind of thing. I don't think I've never played that one, but it reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild, where there were different ways that you could attack a situation or figure out a puzzle or anything. There was so many different ways that you could use your creativity and use the different elements in the game to make something happen. And I love that. And that's something that Breath of the Wild to me does better than almost any game out there. No game feels that creative, but that's really cool though that they've done that. The updated effects they've done to OSST helps. Not sure what you're talking about there. Exactly. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the original series Star Trek helps. Figured it out. Yes, it does. But it's still damn cheesy, man. Especially little Clint Howard. I mean, come on, really? Goofy, man. I mean, look, I get it. If people love that, I'm not going to say you shouldn't love it. It's just not for me. Emergent gameplay and non-narrative driven gameplay that other titles should take influence by. Absolutely. Man is born. He's a man of needs. I love Doctor Who. Really good in its cheesiness. Yeah, see, the cheesiness just takes me right out of it. And whatever story you're trying to tell gets lost because I've disconnected from it. And it's just something that's always been the case for me. It's why I've never really liked a lot of, especially in the, growing up, any TV, it was hard for me to really like because it it completely took me out of things. Sorry. Nothing wrong with not being on the same page as long as people are respectful. I'm good. Exactly. Clint Howard. Yeah. That episode, though, it kind of cracks me up, though. It's just funny. I love that we all like different stuff, get to interact with different points of view. Exactly. Exactly. There's going to be things that God, there's so many things that we don't agree with. But it's okay. Because it's cool. It's cool. I just don't like complaining all the time. You know? Like I have to stop myself. Especially, I mean, I almost feel like I need like something in YouTube where it basically alerts you and says, "Hey, knock that off." You know, when I start going off about the sequel trilogy or something that I really dislike, and then, you know, I can, hey, be positive. Doesn't mean that my criticism isn't valid. It's just, dude, don't dwell on the negative, you know? If John Wayne was alive, would he have had a place in the Star Wars movies, Jedi or Sith? I mean, that's interesting. But see, that's the thing though. There's been plenty of actors that have in their careers, they've been known for a certain thing and they play against type for it to, you know, really work on the audience. It would have been interesting to see him as a Sith, but I mean, I would assume that if he had been up for one of those roles, it would probably be one of the Jedi, right? I mean, wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you say? I love it when actors play against type, you know, like Denzel Washington in Training Day, you know, insane because it's just like we've never really seen him like this, or you know, gosh, Jim Carrey in The Majestic, you know, just completely different kind of character, and that's really fun to see. But I don't know. John Wayne would have been too expensive to hire. I mean, obviously yes, for those kinds of budgets back then. For those movies, yeah, he would have been way too expensive. But it's kind of like one of those little thought exercises. It's kind of interesting. Han Solo's father. I mean, well, we still have never seen that. Got any recommendations on something good to watch? Oh wait, I bet you've got a whole backlog videos on your channel doing just that. A little promotion for you. I mean, yes, but the thing is, the way that I pick my movies to review isn't, sometimes it's based on, hey, what's hot right now. But then if you've noticed, some of the movies that I review, I know they're not going to get like a ton of views. But my whole thing is, I like, one of my favorite things to do is I'll watch a movie, like an older movie, say, and after I'm done, I'm like, I kind of want to talk about it, you know? But there's nobody to talk to about a lot of those older movies, right? So I'll go read Roger Ebert's review of it. So I'll, you know, find out what Roger Ebert thought of it. And I know a lot of people say, oh, critics suck and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on here. Roger Ebert was one of the few critics that reviewed it for what it was and not for what it could never be, right? And he reviewed how it's about it, not what it's about. You know, there's plenty of things. There's plenty of movies that are, you know, just standard whatever, but it's how you tell a story is just as important as the story. And that's one of the things that he would do, is he would say, hey, this movie's not for me. But you know what? For what it was made for, it really works. So for me, Roger Ebert is the singular of all the people I've read and watched and all that kind of stuff. He's the closest to my own sensibilities in what I look for in a movie. He was the guy. So anything recent, I watch Chris Stuckman. I watch, you know, what's his name? Jeremy Johns. I like him. But for older movies, it's Roger Ebert, man. I love that guy. In fact, I corresponded with him once over email. And that was really cool. For him to respond to me and actually, I mean, it was a very brief thing, but it was still pretty cool. And yeah, there you go. I don't know why I was talking about that. Oh, recommendations. That's why I do what I do. Is I like it. Maybe somewhere down the road, somebody looks up someone to watch over me, and they can look up my review, even though this got like 20 something views. You know, they can look up my review and go, oh, this guy's talked about it. What's he got to say? I mean, I felt this way about it. You know, I wonder what he thinks, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know. Have I seen the doc about Ebert? It's good. What is that? What are you talking about? I'm actually, yeah, let me know what you're talking about there. And then Jinzu, there he is. Ninjinzu joined us on our Discord hangout Friday night as well. A lot of fun. Don't like John Wayne because he had severe constipation like Elvis, and that creeps me out. Okay. I'm not sure what to say to that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm curious about the Ebert documentary. I remember grabbing the Friday paper from the driveway for my father and reading the weekend movie reviews from Siskel and Ebert. So long ago, not sure about the spelling of names. Sorry. Don't worry about it. I got it. Siskel and Ebert. I think it's one B on the Ebert, and Siskel is Siskel. Yeah. I loved watching their show too. Even, I mean, I was young. I wasn't. Life Itself. Oh, yes. I've heard of it. I never watched it. Okay. And it still bugs me that we haven't seen Rufus the Red in here. Yeah, Life Itself. I have heard of the documentary. I've never seen it. But no, Rufus the Red said, "Hey, you need to watch Waking Life." I finally watch it, and he's not here. Where the hell's Rufus the Red at? But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So the big news is that New Line and Warner Brothers have basically upped their stuff about Lord of the Rings. Did I watch The Whale yet? No, probably won't for a while. I've got a lot of things on my list, on my watch list, things that I'm ready to review. The Whale doesn't really interest me. I love Brendan Fraser. I do. But I don't care about that movie. I saw the previews and I go, yeah, that looks like Oscar bait, and it's not my kind of movie. So, what do we got over here? Ricky, what's going on? Welcome home. But yeah, so New Line is going to be the cinematic home of Middle Earth. Now, I don't know if you've heard about all this, but basically what's happening is that, yeah, there's going to be more Lord of the Rings stuff happening, and New Line will continue to be the place where Lord of the Rings movies will happen. There's a lot going on here. Basically, Amazon owns the TV rights for The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. New Line and Warner Brothers has the rights for movies for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Now, what that means is they can continue to do stuff, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We do know that the War of the Rohirrim is coming. This one, starring Miranda Otto and Brian Cox as Helm Hammerhand. That is coming. That's an anime that's coming next year. New projects have not been hinted at, but fans are speculating if Peter Jackson will deliver his promised Super Deluxe Extended Unicorn Edition, featuring deleted scenes like Eowyn's wedding, Frodo Gollum nightmare, and more. Don't know. I mean, all of that is just speculation. Unconfirmed rumors from this new Warner Brothers and Lord of the Ring movie have a 3-year timeline in place, which would be similar to the time restrictions put in place with Amazon's TV deal. So basically, the 25th anniversary of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings into play as a way to celebrate the past and herald the future. We're probably going to be getting some interesting Lord of the Rings stuff coming up for sure. Prime Studios and New Line play nice for now. So what's interesting is they're continue to be very separate, but it's basically Amazon can do whatever they want on TV as long as it has to do in those movies. Warner Brothers and New Line can do the same thing over here, but for movies. What's going to happen though is that the movies that come out are going to stream not on HBO Max like you would think. They're going to stream on Amazon. So I don't know how that deal got made, but that is going to be happening, which is interesting. Amazon solely in the Middle-earth TV business, right? So here's what's interesting. He alone, Simon Tolkien, current figurehead of the Tolkien estate, he alone can approve usage of extra material from other books such as the Silmarillion or the History of Middle-earth on a case-by-case basis. I did not realize that. I thought that's really, really interesting. Now, what they're going to do, I don't know. But no, I don't know. So yeah, just to catch you up on Rings of Power, there you go. Amazon has announced 5 seasons of Rings of Power, greenlit the first 3, written the first 2, season 2 now filming in the UK. They intend to make spin-off shows. As secretive as Amazon is, word got out that they nearly went with a young Aragorn show pitched by the Russo brothers. Interesting. Will there be a reboot of Lord of the Rings? And as of now, absolutely not. So yeah, there are plenty of new stories to mine from the books and no remakes are expected. Okay? Is Peter Jackson returning? Warner Brothers and Embracer have kept us in the loop every step of the way. We look forward to speaking with them further to hear their vision for the franchise moving forward. Now, The Whale was I saw it. Okay. Here, let's just pause for a second. Let me get caught up. They need to make a sequel to Lord of the Rings that takes place in the Fourth Age. That way they won't be constrained by the narrative. But what would that be about? And who, I ask you, who could continue the story of Middle-earth in a way that fits the world? I don't trust any writers to come up with something new. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody is on the level of J.R.R. Tolkien. That's why Rings of Power has been, even though it's beautifully made, it's been continually frustrating for me because things don't feel like Tolkien. A lot of the stuff in The Hobbit, it didn't feel like Tolkien because it was all of this this stuff that just seemed overly dramatic and ridiculous. I don't know. They're not going to do Fourth Age though. That would have to be something that that Simon Tolkien would have to approve, and I don't think they're going to do that. And what would that be about? That's the thing. Some people have said that, and I'm like, I don't see how that would be interesting. What would be yeah, you got your protagonists, right? Aragorn and Eowyn as the king and the queen. Sure. Their son, maybe. But then who would be the antagonist in that kind of show? I don't know. Not my type of movie, but it was a good. Okay. Did you know film critic Arch Campbell? He may have been local to DC. I've never heard of Arch Campbell. No. Kurt, Lord of the Rings. What? Okay, that one I missed. I didn't get that one. Simon Tolkien should write a new Lord of the Rings book. From what I've heard, he's not that talented. So, yeah. First gen creates it, second generation safeguards it, third generation squanders it. I mean, we may be getting that. We may be getting that because Christopher Tolkien didn't want a lot of the stuff that happened to happen. He thought the Lord of the Rings movies were entertaining but hollow. So I don't know. Need to finish Rings of Power. Yeah, Rings of Power is best done quickly, and just don't think about it too much. Just go with it. It's weird because it is kind of entertaining on a certain level, but then when you start to think about it, you go, wait, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Why would they? Why? So, would only watch Vigo as Aragorn's series, but probably too late at this point. That is absolutely true, possibly. The Fourth Age would be about restoring the Númenórean Empire, invading the East, fighting off the remnant orcs. Well, most of the orcs were in Mordor, and Mordor was destroyed. They emptied Mordor at the Black Gate. So, I mean, I'm sure there's orcs out there, but to me, there's not enough there. Do First Age, there's interesting stuff there. There's beautiful stuff there in the First Age. The First Age, the Second Age has some interesting stuff, but there's just not a whole lot written about it. The First Age has so many amazing stories. Like reading the Silmarillion started this. Me going after and saying, okay, I want to know everything. I want to read it all. The Silmarillion is amazing. The problem is nobody has the rights to that. So that's the problem. The blue wizards would rise as evil powers. I mean, that is definitely possible, Magnus. I mean, that's been something that's been, been tossed around. But I just don't know that would be. And then, it brings up an interesting point. I thought that the end of the Third Age was basically the end of elves and the Istari, the wizards. But that's not necessarily true, right? The Radagast is out there. The blue wizards are out there. Maybe the blue wizards are already dead by the end of the Third Age. We just never heard about them because Tolkien never wrote about them. I don't know. Lord of the Rings CU. Yeah. Scary, man. Hobbit movies were great except for all the extra stuff that wasn't in the book thrown in. Could do without all that. Yeah, and that's why some of those, that's part of the reason why I started doing fan edits, was to find the one that I really liked. And the fact is, there were things that I liked about a lot of them, like that I watched. But then, like, this one would take out this part. Okay, good. But then they would leave this part in. And then they would expand on this. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I like the way that and then they change this. Oh, man. So it's like everything had like good and bad. It's kind of like the special editions of Star Wars, right? Every fan edit is like that, where there's stuff that's like, wow, that's really, really well done. And then there's stuff that's like, could have done without that, or I'm actually mad that you took that out, there's stuff like that. There's not the only way to make the perfect edit is to do it yourself. But yeah, we need a fan edit of Rings of Power that turns it into a 3-hour movie. Well, fan edits on series is difficult, especially something like that. Fan edits on movies are one thing. Fan edits on series is a little harder to do, and it's a little different. How do you prove that someone has Amazon Prime for you to be able to watch it? For any of the fan edits I've done, except for Obi-Wan, it's why I was hesitant to do the Obi-Wan review, because to be illegal, you have to prove that you have a Disney Plus account. But yeah, that's where it gets strange, though. I'm not sure if I've ever really finished the Hobbit movies. I've seen the full-on director's cut of Lord of the Rings several times. Yes, me too. In fact, I watched them somewhat recently. When I got sick, I watched them. They were good. I would, if you can, there's a fan editor by the name of M4, literally the letter M and 4, probably widely regarded as the best fan edit out there. And I think he takes it and puts it into 2 movies. the 3 movies and puts them into 2. So it's about the size of 2 movies. Takes out a lot of the stuff that's just not needed, and doesn't move the story along. And I think what he was trying to do was try to be as close to the book as possible, which I think it works. I also enjoyed Maple Films. God, there's a couple of others. Adam Dens did one. There's some good ones. But I want a movie or series of the Third Age game with Barathor, Idriel, and Hadhod. Those are the games. So that was all made up. But see, I've never played any of those. If Wraith is still here, I have Shadow's Mortar. Still haven't played it. I have a theory that the Blue Wizards were the Nazgul. They moved to the east, became kings, and accepted the rings. There is a theory on that. But again, yeah, they really aren't really mentioned. Are they the Blue Wizards? Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody really knows. But the 9, the 9 are supposed to be kings men, just men, but they were kings of their respective areas. I don't see how the Blue Wizards would fit into that. I could see them doing that, but man, who knows? There's so many different ways you could go, and so many ways that I would find. Yeah, Ricky, that was a good game. See, there you go. The only thing I didn't like about the HAL 9000 edit is that they didn't show the kids getting killed at the Jedi Temple. That wasn't shown in the movie either. So how could he add that? And you don't really need that. Right? I don't think you need it. You get it. You don't need to see it. Also, they left in the "Are you an angel?" line. I don't care about legal issues. Well, I mean, I get that, but I run a channel. If I don't want my stuff taken down, I kind of have to think about that stuff. And I also want to respect the creators as much as possible when I'm doing a fan edit. It's like or when I'm reviewing a fan edit, not doing one. It's just something that, because I've made a movie, I've literally helped make a movie, bring something that was just an idea on a page to real life and made it all the way through production and now Blu-rays. I can't justify doing something like that where I'm just going to throw away that stuff. Can't do it. Gotta be, I kind of have to care about legal issues. If you have a PS2, GameCube, Xbox, or Steam Deck, you should play Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Okay. You don't need to see them killed, though. Yeah. I literally started Third Age last night with a modded Wii and a certain lair. Jazz. Jazz was my favorite Transformer. There you go. Just was. I love Jazz. I thought Jazz was the coolest. I'll never be able to say I've made a movie. Rob, you're lucky. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome, man. It was really awesome. And it was a dream come true, really, But because of that, it's hard for me to, well, number one, it's hard for me. I've said it before. It's hard for me to blast movies, like completely blast them and trash them. Because I know that there's probably some people in there that put a lot of effort into that. And then on top of that, I also have to think about the fact that I'm trying to still give my opinion of it, but also be respectful to the people that made it. And not for any other reason, but because I respect those people. Because I've worked with people like that. But just like the Fast and the Furious movies. Ricky, for an example. There's people that seriously put hard work into making those movies happen. And I respect that. But I can't stand those movies. So I would rather just not review them than try to sit here and try to dance around. Yeah, I think this movie's crap, but I really this was really, wow, that was impressive that they did that. And Vin Diesel said words there. I'd rather just not do it. You know what I mean? You've not seen the movie Ninjinzu. By the way, again, I'll say this again. Say this again. The Blu-rays. Billy was on a live stream earlier today and said that the Blu-rays are within like a week or two of being received, which means they can start sending them out. So they're coming soon. Really, really excited about that. So in case you hadn't heard that, that is happening and it's very cool. Or are you playing the GameCube version on the Wii? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, you're saying GameCube version. Okay, gotcha. The movie should have had more dramatic scenes of Anakin killing masters and showing how ruthless and powerful he had become. I mean, he killed Mace Windu. Or he brought about the death of Mace Windu. I mean, spoiler alert for Revenge of the Sith 2005. It's only 18 years ago, which is crazy to say. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but hey, there are people today that are still calling for Darth Vader, like a Darth Vader series or a Darth Vader series of movies, and I'm like, we don't really need that though. What's it gonna, like, the comic series is just Darth Vader, dancing around and doing whatever he wants to do without the Emperor knowing, and him trying to kind of undermine, but it's just not that interesting to me. I've tried reading them, and I'm just like, I just don't really like this. But I don't know, man. Different strokes, man. Different strokes. Yeah. And if you have a good soundbar, subwoofer, or surround sound, it's amazing. Ooh. All right. Am I in the movie? Magnus, I am. Multiple times. Yeah. True, you missed the deadline, but they will be available. They will be available, Ninjinzu. I mean, if you're wanting to, dude, if you're wanting to watch the movie or get the Blu-ray or whatever, just stick around. Stick around us or the Game Chasers. And I guarantee you're going to be able to get one if you want one. And hopefully soon we'll get the digital deal done. G.I. Joe, you like Flint or Duke better? Flint all the way. I just thought Flint looked cooler. Just saying. Did I see episode 3 in the theater? If so, what was your reaction? I actually did. We were doing our podcast at the time, and we actually filmed a podcast, or filmed. We recorded our podcast live at the front of the theater before the movie started. So we actually made a deal with the AMC Legacy in Plano, and we hung out with the Star Wars fans in line that were doing they were doing stuff for charity, and we did a show with them. They were awesome. Yes, I did see it in the theater. I really liked it. Over the years, I've appreciated it a little bit more, but I think my biggest problem with episode 3 is that I feel like the fight is a little over. It's a little much. The fight at the end. There's some great stuff in that movie, though. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy the movie. In fact, it is the best of the prequel trilogy. No question. Too much high ground. I mean, I did find that a little goofy. I mean, there's still some goofy stuff in those movies. All 3 of them, right? No matter which one you like, you have to admit 4, 5, and 6 as well. They all have some goofy stuff in them. But I really enjoyed 3. And seeing it in the theater, yeah, it was awesome. Comics or cartoon? I never read the comics of G.I. Joe. I did watch the cartoons, though. Try any other movie with a new sound system? How about Mad Max Fury Road? No, I didn't. But I did. What was the one I did? Did I say anything about Dune? Because Dune and Heat, both of those freaking shook my stuff. One of the other things I was playing with was the if you have an Apple TV and you have access to Apple Music, which I do, some songs are in the spatial audio, the Dolby Atmos, and now I figured out how to output Dolby Atmos into my receiver and to my speakers. So I'm getting a Dolby Atmos mix of some of these songs, you know, and a lot of them are older songs or whatever, but they're really cool. But yeah, lately I haven't watched a movie in like a full movie in a while. But yes, Ray, it's dude, it's awesome. It's really, really good. I don't know why people want that. We already have 3 post-Vader movies and 3 pre-Vader movies. Yeah. For me, I just don't know if there's a great story to be told there. And I mean, you could probably say, well, you know, the prequels were not that great or the sequels weren't that great. I mean, look, we're splitting hairs here. There's some of those that are better than others. I'll just say that. But I just don't think that a movie just about Vader running around the galaxy doing stuff, it just doesn't seem like it would seem that interesting to me. So, but there was a book called Lords of the Sith. It's in the new canon. And what happens is Vader and the Emperor, they're on a like a Star Destroyer. It gets attacked and they go down escape pods to this planet and they both have to survive. And they both kind of have to find each other. And it's kind of awesome. It was kind of an awesome read. But because it wasn't your just, you know, I don't know. It was cool. It was cool. Episode 3, HAL 9000 is my favorite Star Wars movie. Return of the Jedi is my second. All right. Gotta head out. I'll finish the stream tomorrow night, y'all. Carbonite. Have a great night, sir. You're sure you're probably already gone. But it's good to see you, man. Heard Cocaine Bear a little slow and boring in parts. Couldn't decide whether it wanted to be. Could have been funnier. Yeah, and that's a bummer. That is a bummer. But, hey, that's what happens. Here for Mando. Okay. I tried watching Wakanda Forever. It was so long, I stopped halfway through. Wow. I still haven't watched it. In fact, I still haven't watched Thor Love and Thunder or Wakanda Forever. Mainly because I'm waiting for my wife, but just haven't watched them. Oh, and Werewolf by Night. I still haven't watched that, and I kind of want to see that one. I heard it's good. Only seen episodes 1, 2, and 3 in New Hope in theaters, but Revenge of the Jedi. Yes, it's Return, but the original name was Revenge, but was too dark for Jedi. Yeah. Return of the Jedi is... Okay, wait. Revenge of the Jedi? You're talking about Return of the Jedi is your favorite. Vader running around being all like, ah. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if... I don't know. The Darth Plagueis book makes episode 1 so much better. Yeah, see, I never read that one. But I can see, like, what was it? Bloodlines? It's a book about Leia. And I was sitting there going, I don't know if I care about this book. I just don't know if I care about this book. The book was awesome. Like, freaking really, really good. And it actually made episode 7 better. The Force Awakens. It actually gave context to some of the reasons why some of the things happen in The Force Awakens. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, that's really, really cool. I wish they'd put that in the movie, you know? Bloodlines was amazing. So yeah, I can totally get that. And yeah, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, baby. Yeah. Is the Thrawn trilogy your favorite Star Wars novels? Not even close. I don't like the Thrawn novels. I don't like, honestly, a lot of the Legend stuff I don't like. Which is part of the reason why I never gave Knights of the Old Republic a chance. Because I knew that it was Legends material. It was based on ideas that had nothing to do with George Lucas. So I said, I don't need to have anything to do with it. Because all I was concerned with was canon. Now the problem is when you do that, when you close yourself off completely, you miss out on some things, right? And I have read the 3 Thrawn novels. I thought they were like, to me, they read like fan fiction. I know that a lot of people don't like when I say that, but that's how I felt. I did read the book Kenobi, because that in particular was a very interesting idea. Uh, I liked what they did with it, and I actually kind of wish that the Obi-Wan series would have followed that a little bit. But did you enjoy Shadows of the Empire, book or game? Never read or played either one. Just saying, it wasn't part of canon, so I didn't care. It was like, this is all fan fiction. Kyle Katarn, who the hell's that? It's nobody. I know. There's people that love that guy. And there's people that love those games, that love those series. They just weren't for me. And I will also say a lot of that early 3D in gaming, and I'm talking about Ocarina of Time, I didn't like them. I didn't like them very much. Because that early 3D was so, let's be honest, it was kind of janky. It's kind of janky. So I didn't care for a lot of that stuff. So I just waited for things to get better. Jedi Outcast, I played one or two of those. They were okay, but I don't remember them. It was dope seeing Namor land, just super long story. Yeah, I want to watch those. I want to watch Wakanda Forever for sure, but I don't know nothing about Namor, like nothing. I don't know what else they could tell with Vader. Like, they pretty much showed his life in episodes 1 through 6. I mean, that's what I agree. So I apologize to those of you who are like, I hate this guy now because he doesn't like Shadows of the Empire, or he doesn't like whatever. But that was my thought process back then. And when those came out, I was getting out of gaming, and I got married, and I was busy. No, I'm just, you know what I mean? You just, gaming took a back seat to life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a weird thing. What Star Wars novels do you like? Well, I like books that are based on canon stuff, which again, I realize this now. The distinction doesn't really make much sense now. The whole thing was, right? Lucasfilm or Lucas Arts, everything Star Wars related was bought by Disney. Disney said, "Hey, all that stuff that happened before, that's all legends. We're doing a new canon, and everything's going to be interconnected." It's like, cool. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to read a book and go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Yeah, that's what I wanted. So I was really excited. So I started reading a bunch of the new Star Wars canon. The problem is, as the movies went along, they started completely dismissing what they'd written in the books. And that pissed me off. So I haven't read a whole lot more after that. But my favorites of those times, the ones that I'd read, Lost Stars is absolutely fantastic. Great book. And I'm talking about canon or not, good or, Disney or not, whatever you want to say. Lost Stars is awesome. It's a really well done. Bloodlines was another one. I've already talked about that one. Lords of the Sith was pretty good. Not my favorite, but it was pretty good. I'm going through like my memory bank here. Those are the ones that stick out though. Oh, I did read Tarkin. That was an interesting one. I don't remember. Was that Legends? I can't remember. But those are the ones probably. Yeah. Traitor, part of the New Jedi Order series, is my all-time favorite EU book. Yeah. I never read those. But one of the things that I wanted to do is, which I can't. Oh, Oscar, gonna take a nap before work. Good night, everyone. Great stream, Rob. Thanks. Thank you. And there's. Sorry, we're kind of moving slow here, but yes, yeah. Yeah. But it's good. It was good to see you, and thank you. You do what you need to do. Take your nap, man. Thanks for streaming tonight. I just got laid off from my job of 16 years, so I have pretty. You're pretty down and still processing it, trying to stay positive. Hope to find something better. Glenn Harris. Glenn, let me tell you this. Hopefully, look, there's nothing that I can say that can just fix everything, right? But hopefully, with time and with effort, you could find something that is even better than what you have, you know? So I'm hoping for the best for you, man. Um I have only been laid off once. Hopefully you're not off as long as I was. I was off for 19 months before I found a job. So, man, hope for the best, man. Hoping for the best. But hopefully you get a little bit of positivity out of tonight. And yeah, hope you have a great one. And man, seriously, well, I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about your position. I was just thinking about myself. It's the only thing I can equate it to, but it was weird because when I got laid off, it was almost a relief because I had a feeling it was coming, and I was like, good. Now I can focus on this job that I really want. And focused on it and focused on it, and it never happened. So all I can say is keep your head up, and yeah, just keep your head up and try to stay as positive as possible. And man, if something comes along, grab it, man. Grab that thing. And you're right, but yes, again, staying positive, that's the hardest part. The mental part is the worst. But you know what? You can do it, man. You can do it. We believe. Ted Millich, the episode 3 novelization is good. I do have that. I do own that. And I have read it, and it is very good. Even though technically it's kind of not canon anymore, some of it, it's really good. If Simon Tolkien wrote some Middle-earth books, what would you think of it? It would depend on how they were. I mean, if he said, I'm going to write some new books, I'm going to be like, I mean, those are some shoes to fill. And ultimately, I would have to judge it based on what he wrote. I honestly don't think, and this isn't like my hero is impossible to reach. Dude, Tolkien grew up at a time where he had nothing to do but invent languages. There wasn't the internet, there wasn't TV, there wasn't all this other stuff. The problem with our world is that there are so many distractions that it stifles our own creativity. I believe that to be absolutely true. I say that, and then I go in there and I get distracted by things on the internet, by stupid video games or just whatever. I say stupid video games. I'm talking about like the cheesy, really crappy mobile games and stuff like that. I've gotten addicted to those before. Those and stupid websites where, you're not really getting any information. There's a lot of noise in the world. A lot of noise. And I think that because of that, it's very hard to produce a genius like Tolkien who's able to separate himself from everything and focus on creating a universe. I don't know if people like that are able to do that today. Now, again, me personally, I feel like I'm a pretty creative guy, but I keep getting distracted by things. And I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I honestly think that because of the noise in the world today, anybody that could have the potential that J.R.R. Tolkien of reaching the heights of J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, think about George R.R. Martin. Dude hadn't even finished. He's been, we're doing a side story. We're going to do this story. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do this. And then he's on shows talking about all of his stuff because he's getting money for it. Like, what's easier, going on these talk shows or going home and writing for 12 hours? I honestly don't know if he'll ever finish it because he keeps getting involved in all this noise. None of that stuff matters. What matters, what's going to matter at the end of it is the work. I just don't know if anybody can reach that. But that's my sorry. Talking about graphics, my favorite games are 2D or the later 3D ones. I have some early 3D favorites, but I meant early 3D was ugly. I can't do them. Like, I guarantee you, if Knights of the Old Republic looks like the Xbox 360, which I think it will, I'm going to give it the old college try, which is a bad example for me to use since I didn't finish college. But I'm going to try it. But man, there's a good chance that I'm going to tap out pretty quickly because it looks janky. So, and it's just because that jank is just not my thing, you know? There's some good stories in the Dark Horse comics too. That's where I was going. I bought all of the Dark Horse comics. All of them. Literally all of them. They were on sale on Comixology right, I don't know, a few years ago. The omnibuses that are like this thick, all of them were like $1.99 a piece. I think I got all of them for like $30. And they're all digital, but I want to read those. That's on my list too. So that's why I've been self-employed for the last 15 years. Magnus, hope you're doing okay. Keep your head up, Glenn. You'll get another job soon. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be self-employed. Too much shit. Too much shit. Not sure what you mean by that, but I mean, yeah. Take a cheap vacation with the time off if you can. Yeah. I appreciate that. They gave me a severance at least. I did feel a relief, but at the same time, scary. Yeah. Glenn, I'll tell you, I mean, like I said, man, it's so hard not knowing exactly, you know, what you've got going there, but, and what your skill sets are. But yeah, I thought that I was like, dude, there's marketing jobs. Come on, man. There's like in Dallas Fort Worth, there's like 8 of them. I'm sure to be able to get, dude, I was freaking operations manager at this place. Dude, come on. I still couldn't get a job. So it was weird. But we're also talking about, this was 2011, 2012. Things are a little different now. In fact, one of my old companies keeps emailing me saying, hey, we got a job position for you. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not driving to Abilene, which is like, I don't know how many hours from here. But anyway. 100% still writing my book, and it's taking a long time due to distraction. Yeah. And my single biggest issue is that there's a window of creativity for me. And my problem is I have to clear out some things for me to get into that groove. And clearing out stuff with, you know, me kind of taking care of, I mean, look, I'm not that great. Okay. But taking care of the house, you know, going to the store, doing the things that my wife doesn't want to do because, well, she's working, she's bringing home the bacon. So I might as well do the things that she doesn't want to do around the house. Right. So keeping my head above water with all that stuff and then trying to carve out that time where I can close out everything and just focus on that. It's tough. Because then at the end of the day, I'm done doing all the stuff. And then I'm like, okay, now's the time to do it. But I got a headache and I'm tired and I just kind of want to chill and sit in front of the TV and watch somebody play some stupid video game, right? Or whatever, you know, or watch a movie or watch a TV show, whatever. It's tough to do that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And that's why I try to get all my stuff done as quickly as possible so that I can have that time to just devote to sitting and writing. The last 2 weeks have been completely dry, and I'm embarrassed to say that. So I'm hoping that, yes, I will have the script finished by the end of February or by the end of March. Yeah. Janky G.I. Joe. Jay Stakely wrote a great science fiction novel called Armor. He wanted to write 3 more novels in the series, then he died of a heart attack. No, it was liver disease that killed him. Yeah. Well, that's that too. See, that's the thing. And that's why do the thing has always been like my motto, is because there are one of my biggest issues, other than what I'm talking about, is that, man, I had all kinds of time back when I was off, but I kept coming up with reasons why I didn't want to do that, or couldn't do that, shouldn't do that. We continually, as people, I think people in general, we put blocks and barriers in front of us, and it doesn't allow us to reach our full potential. We need to get out of our own way and just do the thing. Just do it. Do the thing. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Do the thing. And I believe that there's probably a bunch of us in here that have a great idea, and we've never been able to really chase it down because of that. Because that's been kind of done before. The truth is, almost everything's been done before, but nothing's been done the way that you came up with it. So give it a shot, I just say do it. I just say do it. Purchasing specialist is what I did for 16 years. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So I guess you'd have to find a place that can do that, or that you can do that. Again, that also depends on what product you're talking about too, and you don't have to say. But yeah, man, hopefully you can find, or, who knows? One of the things that I did when I was laid off is I decided I want to learn more about my Mac. So I started studying. This is kind of dumb, and I kind of think back and go, that didn't go anywhere. But I thought, why not? Why not learn about Macs and Mac servers? Because in my line of work, where I used to work, we all used Mac stuff. And the Mac servers were insane. And I thought, I could do that. I could probably do network administration on Mac servers and stuff like that. The rack mounted Macs. So I got my certification for working on Mac server and like regular Mac stuff. And I did it because I was bored, and I got my certification and then didn't do anything with it. But it was also something that kept me busy, and I'll tell you, the test was hard. And I thought, there's no way I passed that. There's no way I passed it. No way. And I passed it. So I was like, wow, I must have been better than I thought I was. But I mean, who knows, But, work hard on getting back where you want to get. But, also you can take this time to breathe a little bit and see if anything else jumps out at you. You never know. I mean, people have been laid off before and started their own business, and now they're very successful. So, again, we're just, giving you a couple ideas and saying, you know what, it's okay. You're going to get through it, and I believe. I'm going to start write my own novel this week. I'm writing an outline for the first 3 chapters, and I'll write them and send them to agents. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go about that, yes, depending on how you want to enter. If it's a book, if it's actually a book, yeah, you can do that. I'll tell you this. With writing my screenplay, what really helped was writing the entire outline. Because for me, what I found is when I got to the end of my outline, I got stuck. So try to finish the outline for your story and have it, the beginning, middle, and end. Read books like, I don't have it out, but read books about writing. Stephen King wrote a book called On Writing that is absolutely fantastic. It's even if you're just a fan of writing, or if you're a fan of books, it's very, very interesting the way that he describes the process. But I guarantee you, he will give you some amazing ideas on how to craft that story. And, you got your, everything can be in like 3 acts, right? You've got your beginning, your middle, and your end, but you can have little side stories that have their own beginning, middle, and end. And you know what I mean? And the more that you break that stuff down and then you outline it, the faster you'll crank out some of this stuff. Because I cranked out in a very, very short time, I cranked out like 40, 50 pages of my screenplay and then got stuck because my outline was out. I was out of my outline. I'd figured out the rest. So break that story first, and break it all the way if you can. And then, but the fact is, it doesn't matter how you write. You're going to find that there are going to be things, like there might be something that I just said that you take to heart and you go, yeah, that actually really worked for me. But then that other thing you said didn't work at all. And I read this other thing from this other guy. He said how to do that, and that worked perfectly. So you're gonna find your own process. But what worked for me was writing that whole outline. So just saying. I get tired of writing after doing my bills. Taking aspirin every day. Although maybe not with the liver thing. But yes, go for it. What are your favorite Korean films? I recently watched Memories of Murder. It's about the first serial killer in Korea. It's a great detective movie. Korean films. I honestly don't know if I've watched a whole lot of Korean films. And maybe that's an area that I can focus on. I was watching a bunch of the Korean series coming over on Netflix there for a while. I mean, of course, Train to Busan, right? I mean, that was amazing. But yeah. Was there ever a time you paid full price for a video game and an hour into it you realized you wasted your money? Yes. Mine was one of the ones, Parasite, of course. Yeah, Parasite was really good. Most recently it was Hyrule Warriors. Didn't like that game at all. Don't like it at all. In fact, I probably played 30 minutes of it. But I've done that many times. I think everybody has, right? You get hyped by a game. You're like, I've got some extra I want to spend on that game. And then you play it and you're like, ugh. Did you ever think HD DVD was a good format? Both had good ideas. Blu-ray and HD DVD both had good ideas, but yeah, I think HD DVD was short-sighted. It was basically HD DVD was expanding on the current laser. Blu-ray was actually changing the way that the laser worked. So just reading specs side by side and how they work, I thought Blu-ray was the better format. And I think that's why most studios went that way too. But I mean, like I said, I never said this before, I don't think on stream. It didn't matter which one won. I just wanted them to freaking figure it out so I could jump in. Because for a while there, I had an HD DVD player as well. It was the Xbox 360 version. I heard HD DVD was more expensive to produce. Most disappointing game as a kid was Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom on NES. I don't know if I ever played that one. You were for HD DVD? Yeah, I think for me it was mostly just the idea that they were using the existing laser system and just basically packing it tighter. It was almost like Universal. Because NBC Universal is a thing, right? Well, and then MSNBC, Microsoft, NBC, and Universal were all in it together. And so they were really pushing HD DVD hard with the Xbox 360 with that separate thing. And it just, to me, that was the biggest problem was that I didn't feel like it was forward thinking enough. Like Blu-ray quickly was like, we can do multiple layers. They never really did it, but that was the whole idea, was that you could do more than just 2 layers. But anyway, now anybody want to talk about this at all? Anybody? Before we get into the Mandalorian? HD DVD was here, then poof, Blu-ray. Yeah. I mean, it did take a while though, and it was like I said, it was just annoying because it was like, man, would y'all just freaking figure it out, you know? Um, it was annoying to me. It was annoying to me that a lot of studios, like I wanted to jump in, like heavy, like I did with DVD, and I couldn't because I didn't know which one was going to take off. So I got that 360 thing, and got it for I think I bought it new, got some HD DVDs, and then I also had the PlayStation 3. So I was like, okay, I got both. Now, which one do I buy things on? I'm like, I think I'm going to buy them on Blu-ray because I don't think the HD DVD is doing too well. And the number of studios that were producing for both. So here's HD DVD, here's Blu-ray. They were equal. And then it was slowly Blu-ray, and then Universal was like one of the only holdouts. So Ted, that's a good point. Battle actually lasted longer than it should, and streaming came along and got them both. Yep. So, but yeah, The Crow. I just want to say, that poster. And let me point out and be clear here. This is a concept poster. This isn't like an actual thing. But it got me thinking about Bill Skarsgård and looking at that and went, okay, maybe. No, that Bill Skarsgård. That's Ted. That's Bill Skarsgård is he was It Pennywise in the It movies. He was also, yes, there you go, Wraith. And he was also recently he was in Barbarian. I actually really really like him as an actor. So I'm curious, man. I'm curious if they're going to be able to do this. But like I said, when I saw the poster, I was like, okay, I got to talk about this because I love The Crow. The Crow was one of those movies. Leon was talking about how, there were guys that dressed up like The Crow and came into their store and were like trying to pick up women or something. Very feminine looking. I mean, it's not the best glimpse into it, but need a remake with my wife Mia Jovovich as the Crow. Ricky, did you know that there's a new movie called Peter Pan and Wendy? Did you see the trailer for this? It's coming out on Disney Plus in April, and it stars Mia Jovovich's daughter. I didn't even know she had a daughter, but there you go. Interesting. Did I watch The Crow in the movie theater? Yes, opening night. I'm opening night, and holy crap. I've loved the movie ever since. And of course the soundtrack is the soundtrack is just, man, amazing. Billy dressed as Sting that one time as Blockbuster. Yes, he did. And yeah. But it was, it was a little different, but it was just kind of funny. I don't think I was actually there for that. I heard about it, but I wasn't actually there. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. She has multiple kids. Crazy how much they look like her. Yeah. That was big in the day. I was in 10th grade when Crow came out. I was, what was it, 95? So I'd have been 19. Dude, and or 94. When did the Crow release date? May 11th, 94. Okay. So I was just about to graduate when that movie came out. It was very, May 11th, 94. I was very, what do you call it? Inspired. I was influenced by The Crow a lot. Yeah. Got into Nine Inch Nails, got into, all that stuff after high school. Mostly after high school. But yeah, I remember reading one of my friends gave me the Broken CD, the EP. Broken. Said, man, you need to listen to this. Listen to it, and fell in love with it. And then listened to the Downward Spiral. I was like, oh, it's okay, but... And then the Downward Spiral kind of got its hooks in me. And then I went and saw him live in October of 94. And the rest is history. I've been a fan ever since. Like a huge, mega fan of Nine Inch Nails ever since. But anyway, The Crow was heavily inspired. I think that look... I mean, that's what Trent looked like back then. You know? Like... let me see. Trent Reznor... 1994. He had a very I mean come on. That kind of looks, but that was like, dude, the guy was like my hero, you know. I you know, love Trent. What's weird is, you know, you see all these pictures and then you say Trent Reznor now. And I mean, he's just kind of there. You know? Just a kind of a normal looking dude in a way. But anyway, back to this. Yeah. The Crow was a big deal for me. There you go, Leon. Welcome, Leon. Good to see you. 1995. I was 18. So, love Pretty Hate Machine. Hell yeah. But good to see you, Leon. Not entirely knocking the film, but to me, Brandon's death on set is why the film ended up being memorable. I mean, yeah, I can see that, but if the movie wasn't good, I wouldn't have connected with it. You know? I think a lot of men my age really connected with that movie. And yeah, mid-90s had some great music, but yeah, that soundtrack was amazing. Everything they did around that movie just seemed to work. But you say 80s had the best music? That's how you looked in high school? Yeah, I mean, you're not a fan of Marilyn Manson, are you? I was a... What do you call that? Like, not bad. But Marilyn Manson was never like my thing. Marilyn Manson opened for Nine Inch Nails in 94. And then one of my friends got really into Marilyn Manson and said, hey, he's coming again, you know, whenever blah, blah, blah. Do you want to go see him? I'm like, okay. So I went with him and it made me go, it's not for me. But I will say some of the songs from Marilyn Manson are kind of awesome. But he's also a prick, so yeah. One of the enemies in Super Mario World is named after him. It's called Reznor. Absolutely. The film was memorable because of me. Yeah, I think the soundtrack had a lot to do with The Crow. Did you ever see Slayer live? No. I know. No, I hadn't. I have not. I can't believe we're still stuck on The Crow. But yeah, yeah. It's coming next year, right? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it's any good or if it's just another soulless remake. But with Bill Skarsgard, I gotta say, I'm kind of interested. But tonight, the return of Mandalorian. Come on. Who's excited? They played most festivals 2000 to 2010. I think I saw them 6 times unintentionally. Yeah, there you go. I didn't see it. I didn't go to a lot of like the big shows with a bunch of different bands. I never did that. I didn't do that very much. But, you know, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Joel Wars. Yeah. So not advertised much. I almost forgot about it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's coming out tonight. You know, well, in 4 hours it's coming on. But yeah, Jon Favreau was doing an interview, and he said something that alluded to the fact that Grogu spent 2 years with Luke. And I'm like, what? 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 I don't get that. But one of the things that there's a video by Star Wars Explained that I watched that was kind of explaining all that. And I was like, what? I don't understand. He was saying it might be that he was alluding to the fact that it had been 2 years since we'd seen them together. When was let me see. When did The Mandalorian season 2 finale air? Enter. Can you search, please? Search. That's not an answer. What is going... Did I lose the internet? Am I still streaming? It says I'm still streaming. Why is nothing working? December 18th, 2020. That's not right. That's the... Wait a minute. Is that right? Is that right? Has it really been that long? You're kidding me. Why is the text so large? Jeez. The episode will be the last one to air this year, and fans will have to wait until December 2021 to find out what happens next in season 3. Yeah, okay. That didn't happen. Holy crap, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's been that long. Wow. Okay, well then I guess that makes sense. That he would say that, because that's what I think they were trying to say. It's been 2 years since we saw them together, technically, kind of. So, moi and noir, welcome. Good to see you. But yeah, I don't know why Google was like acting all funky there for a second. So I think that's what they're alluding to, what he's alluding to. I just wish that it still feels like the season finale, you know, with Luke leaving with Grogu. And then it looks like they train for a bit. Luke tells him some stuff. Here, choose the thing or the thing, and he chooses, and then he goes back. It's like, I don't know. It feels weird, doesn't it? Does that not feel weird? Did that not feel weird to anybody? I don't know. I got to open in the morning, so I won't stay up until it releases. I won't be either, because I have to wait for April. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it after she gets off of work, and then I'm going to come in here and do a review, because I'm going to want to talk about it. I know it. So that's going to be my video for tomorrow. So, Alexa, get the internet to work. I don't have Alexa. So, my movie buff ASMR friend. Well, hello. No. I haven't watched Rebel Force Radio in a while, so I'm not too caught up on the behind the scenes news of Star Wars. I don't usually stay like super in there, but anything big I get from Star Wars Explained typically. He's another one where I feel like he's super positive, you know, and I don't like the negativity, and I don't like crazy rumors either. Like, oh, I heard that Boba Fett's gonna have sex with a Rancor now. No, that's not gonna happen. That's, well, sources say no, they didn't. So just stop. It's not a thing, right? So I like the news, you know? Give me the news. And usually, Star Wars Explained has never done me wrong in that area. But he did talk about that, and I'm like, okay, well, you probably could have named your video something else. If you're saying Grogu was with Luke for 2 years, question mark? It wasn't exactly like that. But you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that I don't like. So, we'll see. I wonder if they're going to re-show Luke dying. Why would they do that? This has nothing to do with Luke. The Mandalorian? I mean, that would have to be years down the road. And plus, those storylines will have to diverge at some point. Is that the right term? Yes. They lost their way about 2 years ago. Something happened there. Was a big hubbub on the internet or something. They aren't big rumors, just straight news. Oh, okay. Okay. Luke took Grogu. Yeah, but Luke's story now is kind of going off. He's going to finish the temple. He's going to, Ben's going to join and all that stuff. I don't think we're going to see that. That has nothing to do with the Mandalorian story. When is Mandalorian set again? Empire still in power first time? No. This is a few years after Return of the Jedi. Like 5 years. I can't remember exactly. But it's in that time period where before Luke trained all the Jedi Temple and Ben burned it down and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Spoiler alert, Ben burns it down. Before Disney, they used to have Dave Filoni on it all the time. Oh, really? I met Dave Filoni once. I think I've said that before. Cool guy. Didn't he take Grogu? I don't remember. Yes. At the end of season 2, he takes Grogu with him to train him. And then they show up again in Book of Boba Fett because Book of Boba Fett for 2 episodes becomes the Mandalorian again. And for those 2 episodes, you kind of see Mando's story and Grogu's story. And then at the end, spoiler alert, I guess. At the end of Book of Boba Fett, Grogu shows back up. So, yeah. Yeah, damn you, Ben. You bastard. Look, sequel trilogy has its problems, but man, Adam Driver was not one of them. Adam Driver was amazing, and I stand on that hill. I think there's plenty of people up on the hill with me that Adam Driver is the best thing about the sequel trilogy. And it sucks that he was so shortchanged at the end. But anyway, I expected way more from Boba Fett. I wanted to see that legendary bounty hunter, but no, I still watched it though. Me too. It felt like it just didn't feel like Boba Fett. You could tell that he carried the trilogy. His shoulders were massive. Yes. Ben Swallow. For sure. Do I still have that? Does this still work? Hey, everybody. How's it going? My name's Kylo Ren. Do you see my abs? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me, damn it. And then there's hello there. My name's Qui-Gon. I'm on Coruscant. And Ben's following me. And then there's like, oh, I hope Luke doesn't look too hard at all the pictures over there. I'm kind of scared. There's a lot of stuff that I shouldn't go into. And then finally, kid, would you calm down back there? I'm trying to keep everything and you need to, sorry. Am I making Lego Star Wars fan fiction? I mean, a little bit, but yeah. Didn't feel like the bounty hunter of legend that people feared. It just felt like some old guy living. It just didn't, look, I will say this. If you enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett and the Book of Obi-Wan, great. I'm really happy for you. But man, they just did not work for me. I just didn't like them. There are bits and pieces that I liked, but I don't like what was with those the spinning around on Tatooine, the Vespa guys, the you know I'm talking about, the bikers. Why were they spinning around? Why did you go get a Rancor when you had a freaking Slave One ship? And you could have just ended it. Well, he trained the Rancor, so he had to use it at some point in the series. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Keep the Rancor for, the holiday, or something. But take your Slave One ship with its rockets and shit and blow up all the stuff that's doing the bad things. Anyway, the Lego games were kind of fun. I wasn't a huge fan of this last one though, because once you get through the storyline stuff, all of the collect this and you'll unlock this and you know all that stuff, it got tedious and it felt like a job. And it became not fun anymore. So I haven't played it in months. So it's kind of a bummer too. And they added a bunch of new characters, but they're like the standard characters, not the voiced characters. So they don't have any voice lines and they don't do anything special. So it was kind of like, that's a bummer. So basically the booster or whatever the game pass, the DLC pass, whatever it was called, was for a bunch of like reskins almost. It's kind of a bummer. Managed 2 episodes of Boba, 2 episodes of Boba and 1 of Obi. Didn't watch Andor. Andor was amazing. Andor is so good. They're really slow, but amazing practical effects scooter bikes. Yeah. How did the guy who made Desperado make Book of Boba Fett? I think that a lot of what they were trying to do is trying to make the most of the volume, but they weren't thinking about how to use it in a way to, like you write a scene. Okay. And then you go, okay, we've got to film this with the volume because that's all we have available to us right now. But they didn't retool the scenes to fit what was possible in the volume. So you had scenes where those guys are chasing Leia like, oh, where'd she go? Oh. And they look so damn clumsy. And she's like just running around and the guy like goes like this. Like she runs by and he's like, ah. And it just looks so bad. It's like they forgot how to block properly. And it just looked bad. But yeah. Now I'm sure I hope Leon's not in one of his moods. Like Leon has a mood. But why screw Andor? What's wrong with Andor? Andor is really well done. But I don't understand it. I honestly think, because I mean, to me, the same problems with Book of Boba Fett are there in Obi-Wan. These weird blocking issues and yeah, I don't know. Lego City Undercover was good. The only dad thing about Red Dead 2 that they make very hard to be a criminal other than during missions. I'm not sure about what you're talking about. I've never played Red Dead 2. I know Ricky is a big fan. Very slow chases in Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly. Cue the Benny Hill theme. Yeah, exactly. An 8-year-old playing 10 didn't help. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't work for me. Just a personal reason? Oh. Gotcha. I get you. How many seasons do you think The Mandalorian could do story-wise? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dave. I keep wanting to say Dave Filoni, Dave Favreau, Dave Filoni, John Favreau. I know who those two guys are. I've known them separately as different people for a very, very long time, but I keep wanting to say Dave Favreau. I don't know why. But John Favreau said that he has all of he has all of season 4 already written and that it's going to start filming soon. So I don't know, man. I could see it going for as long as they can keep up the quality. See, and that's one of the things about the Marvel stuff, right? When people say, oh, I've got Marvel fatigue. No, you have bad movie fatigue or mediocre fatigue. If the movies came out and were awesome, you'd still be into them. That's the problem. It's not a matter of how long can they keep it up. It's how long can they keep the thing interesting? And can you make it? And look, it's the problem with studios. The studios see a thing, they see it's popular, keep doing it. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and run it into the ground. But you have to keep up the freshness and the spontaneity of what makes that show great or what makes that movie great. That's hard to do. That's hard to do on an extended period. I mean, I would think that they may have 5-6 seasons in them. But I mean, if you kept it fresh enough, you could probably do that for a long time. But I don't know. Horse Riding Simulator 2. I hear Mando actor is leaving, but all he does is the voice anyway. Well, Pedro does some stuff in there, but yeah, I don't know. It's basically look, Pedro Pascal was doing okay as an actor, but he skyrocketed with this. And now with The Last of Us, it's like, okay, not only is he's got all that charisma and all that stuff, but holy crap, the guy can really act too. I could not be happier. The only thing that would make me happier is I want to see a movie with Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal where they do a lot of things. Buddy cop movie with Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal. Go. Done. Go. Just go do it. Go do it. Go make that. I just love those two guys. And I think they were great together. Weren't they in that Ben Affleck movie together? I cannot remember the name of it. It was like I can't remember. Pedro Pascal. Click it. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just do this. Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac movie. Triple Frontier. Is that it? Yeah. That was it. Oops. Oh, crap. It doesn't work because I closed the damn window. It's called Triple Frontier. It was a Netflix movie. It was terrible. But it had Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund, and Pedro Pascal. It was a not very good movie. I'm just saying. Not very good. But they were awesome together. You know what I mean? So. But damn, what a cast, right? That's a kick-ass cast. Just saying. Very few shows go long with maintaining quality. It's true. He was in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He looks odd young. Oh, I know. I saw a picture of him with Sarah Paulson recently. It's weird. A terrible Netflix movie? Surely not. Yeah, it was really bad. Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron. Dameron. That's hard to say. Grogu is the Mandalorian anyway, not Din Djarin. I mean, true. I mean, it's why The Mandalorian blew up in popularity, but I have said it before and I'll say it again. I kind of wish we had like a whole series of excuse me, Mando just being Mando. Like whatever episode that was of Book of Boba Fett where Mando shows up. Uh the beginning of that was awesome. The beginning dude, the first most of episode 1 of season 1 was awesome. Right? Mando being Mando. Why can't he not? Why can't we do that? I mean, yeah, you got to get the toys. You got to sell the toys. I get it. But damn it, man, I really wish we got more of that. I don't know if we'll it's too late now. Now it's you know, Lone Wolf and Cub. Lone Wolf and Cub. Is that right? Isn't that what it's called? Lone Wolf and Cub? Why am I going a blank here? Lone Wolf and Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah. Melvorian? Oh my god, I can't talk. I think it must be too late. Grogu will end up wielding the Darksaber and lead the Mandalorians. Anyone else stoked about Attack of the Meth Gator? And yeah, F Melvor. Exactly, Billy. By the way, I was telling them about your show, your show earlier today. Yeah, with talking about the Blu-rays. And you need, just let me know. I'm available to help with whatever. I mean, you know that anyway, but I think we were talking about it the other day. I don't think I've actually seen you this year. Like I did the thing with Jay. When we took the thing to the place, the thumb drive to the place. But that's it. That's the only time I've seen Jay this year too. Just saying. Anyway. I'm waiting till I'm able to walk again to go watch Ant-Man. You might have to do it fast. Did you hear about the drop on that? It's not that you can't talk. It was spelled wrong. What is it? I love this. Get well soon. Eat a penis, Richard. What? I don't understand why that was needed. I mean, that's kind of just saying. It's kind of that's a satchel of Richards. But look, guys, I'm it's getting late and my voice is starting to go. But I want to thank all of you for being here and voting for the liquids earlier. It was very helpful. This one is still weird. We have to actually assemble the Blu-rays because we're trying to save money. So you will be a part of that. Well, I was just going to say, I may have some experience prepping movies, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So. Game Chasers assemble! Yes. Oh, that's more like, I guess, if you want to do it like Cap, right? You go, Game Chasers! Assemble. And then you have the crazy guy behind you go, yeah! Yeah. Bring my white gloves. I'm going to bring my fancy flowery gloves. So. But yeah, I'm completely all the way up all the way up for that. That didn't really make sense. And it almost sounded like I was going to try to be dirty. I'm going to be all up in that. But you get what I mean. Be up in them guts. I don't know why, but that just sounds that sounds worse than saying like really vulgar stuff when you say I'm gonna be up in them guts. It just sounds gross. Like, ugh. I don't know. But anyway, on that note, it's getting late and ratings going out the window. Melvor's Black Widow because he is full of venom. Rob is Bruce Banner. It was kind of funny. I was like, the other day I was telling somebody, I was like, you know how the Hulk says, his secret is that he's always angry? I said, I would be the worst superhero because I'm just always cold. Like I've always got a sweater on. Not in here. I usually got the heater going or whatever. But anyway, I'd make a terrible superhero. But anyway, enough of that. You guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy The Mandalorian. And yeah, I'm going to do a review of that as soon as I can. Probably tomorrow afternoon. Like, probably tomorrow evening, actually. But anyway, y'all have a great one. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you on the next one.